This is the M Zone.
And welcome to the M Zone. Jamie Morse, Matt the Hitman Missler, best guy in the business. Big Sweet won't be here today. He ran into some problems. You know, man, that Sweet can't be out in the rain.
Oh, that's right. That's right. He kind of melted a little bit, didn't he?
Yeah, you know that is, man. It's going to be all right, though. He'll be back in time.
Oh, yeah. It'll be
in
good.
time.
It'll be good.
Yes.
Hey, happy game pre-game day to you and to those who celebrate, man.
Yeah, good. That is happy game day to you, Miz.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Is that the same seat you're going to be sitting in?
And this one right here?
Yeah, that one right there.
This particular seat right here?
That particular seat right there. And you're going to watch the game on that, right?
On that big
big screen.
In the words of one Mr. Eli Drake, a.k.a. L.A. Knight, yeah.
Okay. I'm just making sure.
Can I get a giant?
Yeah.
So what time do you get here?
For
a noon kick. It's noon
kickoff. I usually get here about 7 to 7:15 in that time range to make sure that our crew over on the tailgate side over at Joe's Garage, which, by the way, I do want to point out that coming up at around 4 o'clock, we could jam in Joe's Garage. Listen for that so that you can be a final person in.
Technically, didn't you just touch that? So don't you have to give out?
Nope.
Okay.
I
just making sure. Just making sure.
4 o'clock. 4 o'clock. People watching on stream, 4 o'clock Eastern time.
Just saying.
But I usually get here about 7 to 7:15 in that time frame to connect with the to make sure that our crew over at Joe's are ready to go. Do a quick mic check, an initial one, and then about usually 10 to 5 to 10, sometimes 15 before the broadcast. That's when start to get the guys on that actually host the pregame show to get on the headsets. We can get all the fine tuning stuff taken care of and make sure all the nuances that you hear on the radio go over fine.
Okay. Do you have a pregame meal?
Coffee.
I'll just ask, do you bring stuff or you're just drinking coffee all day?
Well, not all day, but I mean, I'll probably stop off at, at the convenience store to get myself a little energy drink.
Okay.
To kind of get me through the majority of it. Maybe I'll, grab like a cookie or something just to kind of get something in the stomach because just coffee and hopes and prayers does not work out. Not anymore, Jamie.
I was gonna say, wait a minute, that's all you're gonna have?
Nah, I'll probably have a cookie or maybe if a donut looks appealing or something, I'll probably get that or something like that.
Good God. Yeah, there you go. That's what I'm talking about.
Go ahead and say it, Jamie. totally healthy.
I mean,
healthy.
You know what? It's healthy for you, Miz. Whatever works, it works for you.
It works.
I'm not here to tell you. Game day for me. I'm up at what? I'm up at 5. I'm on the road at 5:30 over headed to the Starbucks.
Yep. You got to get your caffeine just like I do.
Exactly.
As well, yeah.
And you know me, I do it with tea and a shot, espresso shot.
It's dirty chai.
It's a dirty chai.
It's as dirty can get.
Oh,
Get
two
some
shots make it double dirty.
Get them soap and water. That's how dirty that thing is.
Exactly. I mean, look, and then you know what? I don't have anything that goes down. I don't eat any food. Then I go tailgating.
Yeah.
Then I go tailgating.
Except for this week.
Right.
Yeah, this week.
But you know what? I was just, so instead of me going, Kendall's going tailgating. I mean, Kendall's going to the game.
Okay, she's going in your stead?
Yeah, she's going instead.
Okay.
She's got 3 tickets. She'd be outside. She wanted outside tickets. We got her outside tickets.
She's going to be outside.
Well, it's going to be nice outside. So, according to Gary.
We think.
I'm saying, according to Gary.
Yeah, we'll find out in about 10 minutes what Gary has to say.
Exactly. A beautiful day is coming hither. And that being said, so, you're going to have some good time. But that being said, I forgot the game starts at noon.
Mm-hmm.
So tailgating starts at 9 a.m.
For you.
Tailgating starts at 8 a.m. for a lot of people. 9 a.m. for the Morrises. Yes, that is a true statement.
Mm-hmm.
And CJ figured out, he found out, his sister told him last night when she stopped by.
Everything kind of leaks out for him.
Right.
Huh?
And she said, I'm going to the tailgate. And CJ looked at me, Dad, we haven't been to a tailgate this year. I'm like, no.
Well, we can't go this week because you got
and that's what I
on.
said. He goes, game's not until 1:15. So we'll be wheeling over to the tailgate and saying hi to people.
Oh, okay.
Yes. You understand why this young man wants to have his tailgate. They got ring pops there.
Oh.
And he never forgets anything. He's like, they got ring pops, so he's got to have a ring pop. And I'm like, okay, we can foot over there and get a ring pop.
Well, I mean, knowing CJ, I mean, I know that he's got a steel trap for mine because anytime that, he gets a black and white cookie from our good friends over at Zingerman's.
Exactly.
He knows, Uncle Miz got me a black and white cookie.
Exactly.
Like, sure, whatever you say, CJ, I got you the black and white cookie.
Hey, man, somebody's got to be the bad guy. Somebody's got to be the bad guy. It can't be the dad.
Well, the dad is delivering it for me.
Apparently. Well, I did deliver it. I delivered it for you to him, and he knows. Uncle Miz is going to knock you out if I don't get my black and white cookie on Wednesday.
I want cameras on that entire scene if that happens. CJ just runs up and... Daddy, where's my black and white cookie? Uncle Miz, did you eat my black and white cookie?
Exactly.
Let me smell your breath.
Oh, my goodness.
You ate my black and white cookie, Daddy.
He's.
I want to haunt you. I want to haunt you in your sleep.
There
Daddy.
you go. He's an interesting young man. If you don't give him what he's supposed to have it's a routine. It's kind of a routine thing. You know what I'm saying?
I've noticed it's been a routine.
Yeah, it's a routine thing. And if he doesn't get it, you don't give that child that routine cookie or that routine drink or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
It just throws off the feng shui.
They melt.
Yeah,
they melt.
If it's not in line or whatever, it's not demure, it's not cutesy, as the kids would say. Am I using these words correctly? I'm hoping that your neighborhood kids are watching the stream or listening to us.
Don't get mad at me.
I'm not getting mad at you. I
delivered you the message I got. That's all I can tell you.
AKA Jalen Carter. What up?
Exactly. I said, hey, you have mistaken me for someone else. That's what I said.
But you did say it on the air earlier this week, though. So
I did. You know what? I did. You know what? If you're going to feel the pressure, I decided I should feel the pressure.
Exactly. Actually, I'm pretty sure one of my bosses has no idea. You know who about Jalen Carter, Madison? You know who he is? He's a defensive tackle.
He doesn't know who Jalen Carter is.
He's a player for the Eagles. Okay, if I mention Hawk Tua, do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh my God, he said it. Yeah. You just said it again.
I just said it again. Yeah. Yeah, he spat on Dak Prescott. So I said that on the air, and his neighbor kid was, wanted to say, Mr. Morris, I heard you say on the radio. And all the other kids at the football practice apparently said that too. So
yeah. Hey, we're educators too. We're educators.
Yeah, we're connecting with the kids.
We're talking to the kids.
This show is for the kids.
Yeah, the kid. He not only did he chase me down to tell me that I said that on the radio.
J-Mo, you let him around your children.
I didn't let him around the children. They listen. Our neighbors listen. It's a good neighborhood. They listen. They're trying to be good.
But then you let him around your son too.
That's a true statement.
Terrible mistake to let anyone around Uncle Miz.
That's a true statement. Well, Kendall turned out okay. At least we think. So far, so good.
Yeah, because the first half of her life, she didn't know Uncle Miz.
Yeah, true. And then she found out who Uncle Miz was. And it wasn't a good idea.
But she was already hip to it by then.
Yeah, at that point it was.
Or whatever the kids say these days.
Exactly. Whatever
those
those kids say, they understand. I'm like,
keep it 100.
I know what you said. I'm like, I did not say.
Yeah, I just found out it's not okay to write 100% out in a text message anymore. You have to just use the 100 emoji.
Exactly.
Right?
Just use.
Right. That's all I got. I'm out.
It's lit. It's 100. 100, fam.
It is one. It is one.
We are one of one.
Exactly.
We are the ones. You the twos. We the ones. Did you catch the Thursday night game yesterday, Jamie?
I did.
Okay.
And I was a little tired last night, so I was gonna take that quick nap.
Mm-hmm.
But I woke up and I was sleeping in the chair and I went to bed, but I woke up and I went in the front living room again and the game was on. It was in the fourth quarter.
Okay, so you did wake up in time to
34 to 24 minutes. I went like this. Wait a minute. Whoa. Wake Forest was winning this game. And then
the college game. Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
I was talking about
the whiteout.
I was talking about the whiteout
too.
Yeah.
It's hard, but I had my laptop and I watched it on my laptop. Yes, the whiteout. Yeah. Are they that good though? Really?
I don't know. Like I don't know whether to believe that the Packers are the top squad in the NFL.
Dude,
like
they get after them. They get after. That's a defensive line now. They get after it.
Yeah,
now.
and I mean we know the old phrase that defense wins games, and everyone shows up for offense. But I mean now we're seeing that defense. Now Green Bay fans are wanting to show up for defense because of the fact that you got Micah on your team, and he's causing all kinds of pressure right now. So I mean I don't know if you want to consider them the best team in the NFL. I mean. As far as I know, I'm still looking at maybe the Buffalo Bills as being one of the top squads as well. So I'm not sure.
See, this is the first. It's first three games.
It's tough to judge.
Right,
off of that.
You can't judge them because
it's like week 1 of college football. You can't really judge. You can't judge until you get into conference play.
Conference play is not is when I'll judge what. I'm sorry, what Michigan, what the Big Ten, what all the other colleges are.
Yeah.
And then you know my feel about the NFL. Nobody plays. Anybody who's a starter, usually, like the Lions, they didn't play their starters.
Right.
They didn't play their starters. Most teams didn't play their starters. The Commanders didn't play their starters. So I didn't have a chance to look at them. So, Miz, going into that game, I'm like, you got two teams that didn't really play their starters, so who's going to win? I don't know. But Jalen was probably the guy that we thought that was the quarterback, and he was moving and everything. But Michael Parsons does add a little more oil to the machine, doesn't he?
I would say he does. I mean, he wasn't the lead tackler on the team. I mean, you got to go to according to ESPN, Edgerrin Cooper was the lead tackler.
Right.
He's a linebacker, but I mean, again, Rashawn Gary, I think led the way for the D lineman, and I mean, Micah had himself a half a sack, had a couple of tackles. Yeah. He's had a couple of QB hits in the game. He's looked like the all pro.
Yeah, that he
was in Dallas.
Yeah.
Where he deserved to have that contract, where now everyone that's a Green Bay Packer, that's a cheesehead, is saying,
oh, did you see the fence?
No.
Did you see the fence? They paint a fence across the street from the from the stadium, from Lambeau, and they say different things on each link.
Did it spell
right?
out Jerry? Thank you,
It
Jerry.
said, "Thank you, Jerry," and it showed it had a drawing of Michael Parsons, and that's what it was. It was incredible, man.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, all the Packer fans should be saying thank you, Jerry Jones. Thank you, Jera, for not wanting to give that man a contract and not extend him. Thank you for passing him on to us. We appreciate that very much. Now we went from being maybe the third best squad in the NFC North to being NFC favorites potentially.
Right. And that's the truth. That's the truth.
And it is scary. I mean, granted, I know the Lions did not fare well, but again, like we had said, the Stars didn't play in the preseason.
Right. And that's why I'm giving the Lions the benefit of the doubt. I know Dan Campbell is a little hot. Dude, did you see the Kelvin Shepherd talking to the press?
I did not. I saw that a lot of people have been talking about that. I didn't get a chance to watch it.
He got after it. He got after it.
I gotta check that out actually after the show to see what he said, because I guess a lot of people were. He said it was a clamoring, not just with Lions fans, but like with Lions media, that he was very poignant about. Is very animated and poignant about his defense from last Sunday.
If you listen to him and the way he says it, hey, we're okay. We're good to go. We got everybody running the right way. We're doing everything, and it was a few plays that got in the way of the game. It was a few plays that got in the way of we only had 178 yards thrown on us, and they did that. 65 of those yards were a play that led to a touchdown. But if I like our defense played well. I like our defense. We played well against the run. We had a couple guys get leaked out, and that's all been taken care of. So the numbers, if you look at the numbers, we played damn good defense. That's what he said.
Yeah, we did. And, I know it wasn't as prevalent, on Sunday, but I'm fairly certain that, the Bears coming in, you finally got guys to kind of get things together or whatnot, as far as, to trying to gel together. But I'm fairly certain that the Lions will get their things together coming up on Sunday afternoon when they host the Bears. And I mean, the Bears are also going to try to make sure to get their stuff together. But I'm certain that last Sunday was an anomaly of things for the Lions, and they'll be able to get their stuff back together and have a better effort in front of a home crowd. Plus, you can't beat the fact that you got Robert Porcher going into the Ring of Honor. So,
which is a great thing.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's incredible. And we had him on here, and Robert was so emotional. He's going to be emotional on Sunday too.
Yeah,
I can see that.
I'll be honest with you. I mean, I was starstruck because, like you said, when I was a young lad and watching Lions football, like there's always that thing, like, who are you going to be when you play football and street football or whatnot? I love being a defensive guy. Like, I want to be Robert Porcher, and that was it. So, like, to see the Lions great join us on the stream earlier this week, man, it was kind of a full circle thing, to grow up to watch him, to want to try to be like him while playing, street football or football over at the local park, to finally being able to see him and chop it up before he gets inducted into the Ring of Honor. Like, it's like a full circle moment right there.
Yeah, that's great. And we got to get the weather on and find out what's going on. So we got our residential weatherman, Gary Rizzo. What's up, Gary? How you doing?
Pretty good. Thanks for having me again. I've been, since we talked on Wednesday, I've been following the trends. Now I can look at the satellite loops and see where the clouds are and which way they're going. And all the weather data now is more accurate and fine-tuned, so confidence is higher. Bottom line is I do have better news. I think any kind of shower activity will be very minimal. We have a pretty dry atmosphere above us, so anything that comes down from the northwest, because there's some active weather right now in central Minnesota, Wisconsin, and it's moving clockwise, and the clock is from 12 to 3 and 3 to 6 goes down, and our weather is pretty much doing that. So by the time it gets here into the eastern part of Michigan, the atmosphere remains dry aloft. So what it does is literally eats it up. It just any rain that falls from clouds, say 8,000 feet above the ground, will evaporate. They're going to fall through a dry atmosphere. So that's a good sign. So I've made the fine tuning of the forecast, and we know that tailgating at the Victor's Lounge will actually start at 8 o'clock. And elsewhere, you pick your time from 7 a.m. to 9 or 10 or even 11, where you want to start. So if you start early, we'll have a mix of sun and clouds, upper 50s to around 60. And as you go on later, temperatures will climb through the 60s into the 70s within a few hours after sunrise. So I always remind people the normal high is 76 for tomorrow. The normal low is 57. The record high, extreme heat, 97, and that was in 1874.
Wow.
And the record low is 40, and that was more in most of our lifetime in 1975. Sunrise will be at 7:13 tomorrow, and because of partly cloudy skies, we'll get to see it rise. Sunset at 7:47. So the forecast changes since Wednesday. Not too much for the first part of the day. Sun giving way to increasing high clouds, partly sunny. The temperatures again warming through the 60s into the 70s. So what about kickoff? Well, I have clouds with some sun, not too much. The clouds will rule. Because of that, I've changed the temperature at kickoff to 75 instead of upper 70s. I'm lowering it by 3 or 4 degrees. I'm going to keep a 20% chance of showers, actually a sprinkle. I need to really hit that home. There could be a sprinkle of rain because of the dry atmosphere above us, and the humidity here at ground level will be like 45%. So that's not conducive to any kind of rain. And another thing I want to tell people, because we're on the radio, so I can't show you on a weather map on TV, there's not going to be that, oh no, threatening sky thing. That will not happen. You know, on days where we forecast showers and thunderstorms, you'll see the sky get really dark in whatever direction you're looking, west or north or northwest or southwest. You go, oh no, it doesn't look good. Well, you're not going to see that all day tomorrow, before the game or during the game. Even if the sky looks like it's getting a little darker, the clouds thickening up, it will not, repeat, will not have that threatening look like, oh, we're going to get it. So that's the thing about the nature of seeing a sprinkle of rain, possibly around kickoff tomorrow. 20% chance of a shower. And then after that, you know, again, we're just going to have partly sunny skies during the game. Temperature might warm up to about 78 for a high. So I'm not buying the high in the lower 80s tomorrow. It's just too much cloudiness. And that warm front that's I talked about on Wednesday will still be draped from southern Minnesota to northern Illinois, and then it washes out in Indiana. So that means we won't get warm, overly warm. We're going to be close to normal, close to that normal high of 76, and that's a very pleasant time of year. Same with the morning temperature for those heading out early or going to be outside early. And I want to emphasize the wind will be light and variable. That means you might notice it coming down a little bit from the north. It might come up from the south because there's just not much wind. So if you're going up in a hot air balloon, you wouldn't be going very far in an hour, just a couple of miles, and you'll be kind of just drifting around up there. So not that we're going to see hot air balloons over Michigan Stadium, but just to visualize that the wind will have no impact at all in the game. The kicking game would be like kicking indoors. So there's like no impact with the wind. I got like 5 miles an hour or less, maybe 6 or 7 momentarily, but not much of a breeze to be found. And that just makes it that more pleasant. You might as well be indoors, except you'll be outdoors and you can breathe the fresh air from outside. But the wind will be very light, even calm at times. In the morning, maybe in the afternoon, I'm just not seeing much in the way of the wind. So that all just kind of adds up to a very, very pleasant day. Minimal chances of rain. A sprinkle would be the proper use. If you feel a drop of rain, No need to get the poncho. Any rain that's going to wet the ground will be, around South Bend, Indiana, Benton Harbor, Michigan, down around Niles, Michigan, those smaller communities near the state line of Indiana. So that's like 120 miles away. So and that's moving down. That's going to move down because of the clockwise circulation, closer to where that warm front would be. And that warm front washes out in Indiana. So if there will be a game in Oregon's at Northwestern tomorrow at noon. And in the Chicago area, there'll be scattered showers and some thunderstorms for that game. And Texas A&M will play at Indiana in South Bend at 7:30. And there could still be a few lingering showers over there. So for those interested in following the Oregon Ducks or Northwestern or Notre Dame, one of our arch rivals, you're going to watch that game. That's a night game anyway. So, you might see some rain down there. But in our neck of the woods, pregame, during the game, and postgame, we're looking really good. Really good. If anyone complains, give me a call. That's all I got to say.
Noted. We'll make sure that we send all disgruntled listeners to Gary Rizzo at that point. We got you.
Wow. Yeah, really. Yeah. And weather like that, I mean, unless you like it like 90 degrees or 35 degrees, and there's like 1/10 of 1% of those. But the vast majority of us will probably say, primo, good job.
Hey, I'll take that kind of weather any day of the week. And Jamie, that just means one thing. Keep your slicker at home.
Oh, I will not be wearing my slicker. Thank you, Gary. Thank you for the weather. We look forward to hearing what the weather's going to be out next week.
Yeah, I'll be following it. It doesn't look like it'll be hot. I'll just give you the first clue because 2 years ago it was 94 degrees.
Oh,
so I don't see that happening.
That was a barn burner out there.
Yeah, I'll just give you a little tease. It does not look like it'll be hot. It looks like it'll be on the cooler side.
Is it average or is it below average?
I think I'll leave that. I'm going to dig into those numbers here this week and get their normal high and normal low in Lincoln and their extremes. And then we can do a little something more to talk about on Monday.
Okay. Well, we appreciate you, Gary, and have a great game day weekend.
I sure will. And go blue.
That's Gary Rizzo. And thank you, Gary, for doing that. We're going to go to a break. And when we come back, we got, you know what?
What?
We got Kev from Kevin Fitzsimmons.
No, you're right the first time.
Fitzsimmons.
Yep.
With the U of M Club of Ann Arbor.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got something else you got.
I just got the text actually a little bit ago. So we have to, we'll have Kevin on for the when we come up next. But the guest that I thought I was going to have on, she's going to be a little preoccupied getting everything ready for the big football game downriver. So unfortunately, won't be able to chat with a good friend of mine. But we'll see if we can catch up with her later on down the road.
No problem.
Yeah,
you're listening to the M Zone on the Big 1050.
This is the M Zone.
And welcome back to the M Zone. Jamie Morris, Matt the Hitman Missler, best guy in the Bizzler. It's just us two today, and we're doing our thing. Coming up on with us is Kevin Fitzsimmons, excuse me.
Nope, you got it right the first time. Fitzsimon.
Fitzsimon.
So a plural Fitzsimon.
Fitzsimon. Here, he's the president
All
of
right.
the U of M Club of Ann Arbor. What's up, Kev?
Hey, Jamie, how you doing? Ms., good to hear from you as well. We're fired up for football to come back to the big house. And this past week at the U of M Club of Ann Arbor, which meets each and every Monday at Weber's Inn at about 11 o'clock, we host a coach from the football program along with another coach from the athletic department. And we had a great turnout again. And we also want to be thankful for your airtime here each and every week, because our club is growing in large part, I think, because of the kind of response we get from your listeners. So thank you again for that. This past Monday at the club, we were originally going to have Biff Poggi, but Biff now has got new responsibilities here the next 2 weeks, as we all know.
A little preoccupied,
Yeah.
Hold on.
By the way,
Actually, I was going to ask Kevin. I know I hate to be that guy, but what did you have to tell him to make sure he wore a shirt with sleeves on it as well? Because I know that apparently was a question that Angelique had to ask at the Monday presser with Sharon.
yeah, I know that was your highlight question when you played the presser. No, I mean, Biff is great. Biff has been speaking to our club now. And, since he had that reclamation project at Charlotte, which is like a no-win situation, he's fortunately come back home to Michigan, and we love hearing from Biff. He was a consigliere, if you will, to Jim Harbaugh, but we'll have Biff back, once he's taken the reins for Sharon during these next two games, and who we had come and speak to us, also a fascinating speaker, a very topical speaker in light of the era of college football today in terms of NIL and roster construction. We had our football general manager, Sean McGee, speak to our club. And Sean is a very fascinating individual. He has worked as chief of staff previously to the Sean has told us about the way they have assessed and determined value to NFL players. I mean, he uses an example, Cole Kmet, tight end, who shares duties now with Colston Loveland. When his contract came up, they had determined, what his value was relative to the NFL. And, that's a system and a structure that is in place at Michigan that few teams in the collegiate area have that experience for. He was very instrumental in getting engaged back with Bryce Underwood. We're very grateful for that. Of course, there was a lot of other people working behind the scenes, but Sean was really the point man for that as the general manager for football to re-engage Bryce and get him to come back to a place that he always wanted to play for. And he went back into the pool and with his family, and obviously was successful in making that happen. So Sean talked a lot about the details of the landscape in the college game today. It was very fascinating. And obviously one of the tenets of the U of M Club of Ann Arbor is that what's ever said inside those four walls stays inside those four walls. I'll share things that are pretty much public knowledge, but you can come as a member and raise your hand and ask questions directly to these coaches every week about, what happened in the game last week or what's coming up in the game this week and how certain players or how certain position groups are performing in practice. And you can get those answers because without the specter of media being present, there's going to be no sound bites. It's going to be shared on social media. It's going to be put on ESPN. So This is all just a closed conversation with the members of that club, which was what makes the U of M Club of Ann Arbor so unique. And we love having Sean join us and giving us those insights. And come Monday, we'll have another football coach that will come and speak to us and break down what transpired on Saturday and talk about the upcoming game with Nebraska the following week.
Who was the second coach, Kev?
Yeah, we had a new coach to us who's not new to Michigan. We had Christy Gannon Fisher, who is the new field hockey coach for women's field hockey. Mm-hmm. She has spent a total of 9 seasons under the coaching staff of legendary coach Marsha Pankratz. She herself was a 2-time All-American, Big Ten Athlete of the Year during her collegiate career at Michigan. She is married to a Michigan football player. She has got maize and blue blood running through her veins. She's a native of San Diego, but loves Michigan. And, to hear about all our athletes that go out there and don the maize and blue and perform each and every week for us, it's really fascinating because the standard is no different than the major sports, and that is excellence in developing, Wolverines for life, people that are not only successful on the playing field, but successful in the classroom and successful in life. Michigan has a player right now that just came back from the Paris Olympics, Abby Tammer. She is a Michigan legacy. Her dad was an NHL player, Michigan athlete in ice hockey. Her mother was a decorated field hockey player in her own right. And we learn about these athletes and the makeup of the team and the challenges of recruiting and who's got the most talent and where their goals are. So, that's what's so refreshing about coming to the U of M Club. People generally come, they want to hear from football. And then come December, we'll have basketball on, and then you'll hear from Dusty May and his staff each and every week. But the secondary coaches, I think one of the ones are the most enriching in terms of learning about our university and learning about our athletic department. So it's a wonderful place to come. I think people that do attend find there's a kindred spirit of other members that are there, and it's very simple to join. We couldn't make it any easier now. We have a website that has an online application. Previously, you'd have to go through some hoops to download it and print it and mail it, but this is all simply online electronically. It's a digital application on our website, which is uofmclubofanarbor.com. And on the first page, you'll see the link to the application. You can pay directly online with a credit card or if you have Apple Pay. And the cost is just merely $60 for the entire year. And that takes you all the way through spring game in April. And the $60 goes towards scholarships. That's been the ethos of our club from the beginning. We have an endowed scholarship that we fund for football, but we have scholarships for basketball. We have scholarships this year. Our board is, I'm proud to say, is elected to fund 3 of the most underserved women's sports. So we do that now as well as an avenue for mental health and nutrition for all athletes across the board at University of Michigan. We fund that as well. So that's what your $60 goes for. It's very worthy. And in addition to that, we also fund scholarships to Washtenaw County students on the basis of merit and need. And that's all it takes. Your $60 covers you for the full year. If you are on the fence and if you're thinking about it, we invite you to come as a guest. There's no charge for coming as a guest. Just show up to Weber's at 11 o'clock. We love to announce our guests when they attend. And the majority of those guests do become members because they find it such an uplifting and wonderful place to be. And, if you're working from home and you've got to take a lunch sometime, it's a perfect time to come and grab a great meal over at Weber's and kick off your week leading up to the next game. So, once again, guys, I can't thank you enough for all the airtime you give us. We have a lot of referrals that come to us saying they heard of us from this program and directly to you Jamie and Ms., we want to thank you on behalf of the club for allowing us to do this every week.
Well, we want to thank you, Kev, and anything we can do to help populate your organization, because it is so needed in our community.
And it is a community. I mean, there's so many friends that have been made in this group, and a lot of them are women. So there shouldn't be any intimidation factor if people are concerned about this being a male-dominated club. I can assure you it's not. Our outgoing president and our board members are represented, and it's just a great place. So the love of Michigan is so apparent in every member that attends there, and the respect that they have for our coaches, and in turn the respect that's shown in return by our coaches in the way they sincerely answer and directly answer any questions that you have. So there's no scouring message boards. There's no reading tea leaves. You have a question, simply raise your hand and you get an answer. And that's the beauty of it. And you're in there with a group of people that share their love of the University of Michigan.
Did put it in because we're live on the socials today, Kev, on Facebook and on YouTube. So if anyone that's watching on stream wants to see what's coming up, or as you mentioned, want to join the club, and if they even if they've been a guest at one point, and like you just go, hey, you know what, I can see myself coming here each and every week, a good meal and hanging around with Maize and Blue fans, like-minded individuals.
Mm-hmm.
Go on there and you get the website, UofMClubofAnnArbor.com. The link is right there. You just sign up real quick.
Right.
It's simple and easy as that.
Yeah, and people, due to jobs and due to schedules, can't make it every week, and it's fine. Just attend the ones you can. But we do have a motivation for those that attend 10 times. You get a free room, a free night at Weber's Inn, which is covering the value of your dues right there.
It's fancy,
and
right
Weber's
there.
Weber's is a phenomenal facility, a great place to have a staycation, even if you're local.
Right.
And I look forward every year to using that with my lovely wife, and it's a great perk as well of joining the club. So attendance isn't mandatory, but if you can come 10 times, you get that free room at Weber's, and that's a nice perk. But come when you can, and know that your $60 is going to go towards a very good cause and funding scholarships in both in the athletic department and for worthy students on the basis of merit and need here in Washtenaw County.
No, I mean, the real capper is you'll get to meet almost every coach that coaches at the University of Michigan. And you get to hear from them.
True.
So, I mean, that's the real getter. You get to meet them individually and find out the person, not just the coach, but the person.
Yeah. Sean McGee, for instance, he is a father of 6.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about somebody who has to have time management skills.
And I thought Jamie had good time management skills, but Sean's got to have pristine time management skills right there.
He is an impressive individual, a Navy graduate. He served our country as well, but he's been in the coaching ranks. You can't help but be impressed by his acumen, and he certainly knows the landscape of today, having served as chief of staff to the general manager for the Bears. He understands today's landscape with the NIL and roster construction. I mean, one of the challenges, and I think this is not a secret, but one of the challenges that Michigan has in bringing in transfers is that the university requires that 60 academic credits be accrued at U of M. So the challenge is in terms of looking at transfer students is you have to either have them young early on, or they have to be graduate students, because somebody who has a lot of credits that comes in, they still have to hit that 60 credit amount, and a lot of their credits will not be transferable. And that's part of the challenge, but they have a window on what they're looking at, young players and graduate students. And I think they're very focused in what they want. He shared some specifics about that, which I can't share, but those are the parameters of becoming of getting a degree at University of Michigan as a transfer student. So that's public knowledge. But the way we're going about it is unique, and there is a very, very assertive plan on getting that done. And I think we're in capable hands with Sean McGee as our general manager.
That's good to know. See, there you go. We learned something today about Sean McGee.
Yeah, and then we'll also have a second coach. Chaka Daly, our soccer coach, will be also speaking after football. But we'll have football there. It could be someone from the defensive side, the offensive side. We won't know that until generally Sunday night. We do post that on our social, on Instagram, U of M Club Ann Arbor. So check us out there. And that is the great place to kind of get a snapshot of who we have every week. You'll see photographs there. Every speaker we have, Ward Manuel, Dusty May. I mean, it's a really good place to say, wow, I would love to have a conversation with these people. And you can do that at the U of M Club of Ann Arbor. So we post who's coming there. Keep an eye on it. Follow us, U of M Club Ann Arbor on Instagram, and you'll be able to keep up with all the ongoing activities at the club.
Yeah. Well, Kev, I know you're somewhere. Where on earth is Kevin?
Yeah, where in the world is Kevin Fitzsimons at?
I'm in Ann Arbor.
Hey!
In Ann Arbor. Yeah, no. Are you kidding? I'm taking my daughters to the game tomorrow, and I can't be more excited to do that.
Nice.
No, it's fall. The leaves are just starting to turn, and it's just a great time of year when you've got football each and every week, and leading up to the game to get this kind of backstage peek at what's going on with the team through the coaches each and every Monday at the U of M Club at Weber's Inn. I mean, there's no better way to spend your fall.
Well, Kev, thanks a lot and good luck. Have a great time at the game. It's your first noon game of the season, so, get a good night's sleep.
I will. All right, guys. Hey, thanks a lot. We'll look forward to breaking it down for you next Friday.
Thanks, Kev. That's Kevin Fitzsimons. Excuse me. Fitzsimons.
Fitzsimons.
Okay, Fitzsimons from U of M Club of Greater of Ann Arbor. I want to
there's so many
U of M clubs. There's so many U of M clubs.
But there's only one
Ann Arbor.
That can bring coaches in each and every Monday to highlight the game prior, or even, and again, some of the other sports that may not get that same eye appeal as football does. So, Shaka has been a constant, here on these stations, throughout his tenure here at Michigan, and to get a chance to meet the new field hockey coach as well too. That should be something that this group that is a part of the U of M Club of Ann Arbor. That's always great to do. And if you are watching on stream, or if you're just listening in the car or wherever you're at, and you want to, if you want to go ahead and jump into the deep end, and trust me, you got floaties to keep yourself afloat.
Exactly.
U of M Club of Ann Arbor.com. You can get signed up right away, and you can go to all the ones on Mondays and be other like-minded Michigan fans, and you get to ask the questions that some members of the media don't get to ask.
Right. You get to find out the truth.
You get the real grit. You get the gritty
exactly.
stuff, man.
I mean, they'll talk to you because they know you ain't the press.
Exactly. Trust me. Do you know how many times that we've played, Sharon's Monday interview, and oh God, here's Angelique's question again. Oh man, here we go. Here we go with another question from Alejandro. Here we go with another question from Austin.
I'm not telling y'all. I'm not. Quit asking.
I'm not going to. So quit asking. But hey, tip of the cap to Angelique for asking about the sleeves question.
Oh, that was good. Hey, dude, you got to go at it. You got to try.
Yeah.
Got to figure it out.
I mean, that's just a man's man right there. Sure. Sleeveless man. Got to get some colors, but it's going to be overcast tomorrow a little bit. So, it's going to be difficult to try to get some color on them, on them bad, them bad hogs on his arms, man, on them pythons.
That's a true statement, bro.
Yeah. So
that's a true statement, but it's supposed to be nice. So he'll have his golf shirt on.
Absolutely.
He'll have a golf shirt on.
Getting more deep. By the way, we're getting details on the games. Michigan Athletics did tweet out the game day timeline, as I do one of
What about the swag, baby? What about the swag?
I have yet to see the drip check. I haven't seen the drip check yet, but allow me to, now that I got the image downloaded, I can put it up for people on stream to check out, and we can say it over the radio. Parking lots opening up 6 o'clock tomorrow. Of course, the Learfield coverage will start at 9, but of course, you'll hear the Chap on-site fueling countdown to kickoff at 8. Gates open, of course, at 10 o'clock. And then you get to hear our good friend and Carl Grapentine get to say the very good words of "Band Take the Field" at 11:46, the national anthem at 11:52, and kickoff on the Big Ten Network and on the Big Ten 50 WTK 12:01 p.m. So we're not going to get that wonky ABC coverage stuff that will delay stuff. You know what I mean?
Big Ten Network.
Yeah, but I mean,
yeah.
Because, I mean, they had, a 14 or 15, almost a 16-minute delay.
Yeah.
For the Oklahoma game. It's
right.
Like, man, why do we got to wait so damn long, man?
Because we're TV. We pay you big money, and you have to wait.
I get it. It's ABC. It's the SC. It's essentially the equivalent of the SEC network, just on a bigger platform.
Yeah, well, you know how that plays. We got to talk to Austin Meeks on the other side. Because do you know how many quarterbacks Central Michigan has?
On the roster?
No, they have 4.
Oh, they got 4 on the roster.
Do you know how many they're going to play tomorrow?
Oh, I have heard that it's more than 1 and less than 4.
Exactly.
I can tell you that, but...
And they try to do equal time.
Yeah.
They try to do equal time. So I'm hoping we had to prepare for 3 quarterbacks.
We do.
3 quarterbacks.
Yeah, so we got to talk to Austin about that. But Jamie, I told you and I teased it.
We could jam at Joe's Garage.
The final time of the week. Final time of the week.
Your
last call.
Get your phones ready. Get your fingers ready.
And I'm not unbusying the phones until we hit the break. When we hit the commercial break, and people on stream, when we go to that be right back scene, you can call up at that time too. 734-998-1050. Caller number 7 gets the last call to get into the Bud Light Victor's Lounge at Joe's Garage, with refreshments provided by Sidecar Slider Bar. Alcohol, going to be a good time. A pregame show with Sam, Ira, and Steve Clark. A whole bunch of fun with a whole bunch of like-minded Michigan folks. But you got to be caller number 7 once we hit the commercial break at 734-998-1050, where you and a guest get to join us inside the Bud Light Victor's Lounge for tomorrow's Michigan Central Michigan game.
You're listening to the M Zone on the Big 1050.
Streamers, call now.
This is the M Zone.
And welcome back to the M Zone. Jamie Morris, Matt the Hitman Missler, best guy in the Bizzler.
I want to give a congratulations to a first timer coming to the Victor's Lounge, and David. He was caller number 7, so he'll be joining us tomorrow. We'll have more opportunities for the next home game, which happens to be when, Jamie?
2 weeks from now.
No, longer than that, actually. 3 weeks. Actually.
What? Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The concert.
Yeah,
Yes, I got you. I'm sorry.
Against Whiskey for the home
Whiskey,
opener.
the homecoming.
Yeah,
it's the homecoming.
Which we don't have a time yet for. So
No.
it's either noon or 3:30. TV networks, hear me out. Please make it a noon kickoff. I want to go see the Sklar brothers that night, okay?
Oh.
Yes, TV. Work around me for once. Work around me for once.
Help out. We need help. We need help when you get a chance. We need help from you because Miz want to go to a nice time, have a nice time. Instead of being there all night and missing the show. I mean, the Sklar brothers, I know that's a big funny.
I think the last time that they were in town last year was also for homecoming. So it would be nice again to go check out our guys.
There's a pattern.
There is a pattern.
They come for homecoming.
Yeah, I like that. So I I'm just hoping that they could continue that on coming up here. That's all. That, like I said, noon kickoff. Please,
Okay.
please.
All right, that's what we want for Wisconsin, a noon kickoff.
That's what we want.
All right. Joining us is Austin Meeks from The Athletic. Yeah. Austin, there you go.
Sorry.
That's what I was waiting for.
Distractible. Distractible me.
Austin, we're going against Central Michigan. I know that, but I'd like to talk to you before you were down in Oklahoma. You got a chance to witness it. I mean, I guess the question is, and I've been asking everybody this question, did Michigan not use Bryce Underwood the right way in an offensive situation?
Well, I don't know if I would go that far, but I would say you definitely noticed the difference between an offense that had a running quarterback who was a threat to keep the ball and an offense that didn't. Mateer's legs, I thought, were the big difference in that game. He had like 75 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns, and then even throwing the ball, it was his legs oftentimes that set up a lot of Oklahoma's big passing plays. So it was noticeable, the fact that just wasn't a part of Michigan's offensive game plan. And Michigan just wasn't able to get any rhythm going at all for Bryce, for the passing game, really the running game as well, aside from the one big run. So it's one of those games where the rhythm wasn't there. And yeah, sometimes the quarterback running the ball, making a play outside of the pocket, those are the kind of plays that can get you in rhythm when your offense isn't clicking.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, but I tell everyone, and I said, look, even Bryce Underwood, the phenomenal young man he is. I mean, he's in a hostile situation. You were also in that situation, and you see the lights and the fireworks, the guns going off. I know not real guns, but they were shooting. They were shooting in the air and shirts and everything like that. It was loud in there, Austin. I mean, there's no real way to simulate that at practice. So until they got there, I'm saying there's no way they could have known how loud it was really going to be.
Yeah, everything about Michigan's game plan to me said they knew going into that game, we have an 18-year-old quarterback making his second start of his college career in a really hostile environment. Our objective in this game is A, make sure he's healthy at the end of the game.
Right. B,
make sure he doesn't throw, a couple interceptions, a couple pick sixes. All of a sudden it can snowball. I did think that, even though Michigan's game plan was pretty conservative, they did a lot of what they wanted to do in that game. It was a close game. They were in the game. I think if the defense could have gotten off the field in a couple situations, maybe they have a chance to win at the end of the game, right? Oklahoma had that long drive at the end of the game, and really as poorly as they played offensively, they were there. So I don't think the game plan was completely misguided. I just think they did need to figure out how to generate a couple more explosive plays.
Right. And it does not help when sometimes your number one receiver and your quarterback are not on the same page. And had he gone the other way, I can't say it could have been a touchdown, but it would have been a big play. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there was miscommunications out there. Everybody, I think they saw it on TV. Bryce Underwood and Justice Haynes getting after one another. I mean, that's going to happen. I mean, a lot of people don't understand that. They're going to bicker a little bit because you know what? Everybody wants to win. Everybody wants to win.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Jamie, you've been in locker rooms. Like anybody who's been in a locker room probably has seen something 10 times worse than that. It doesn't always end up on TV. I didn't think it was a big deal. Obviously, I know why it got the attention that it did. But yeah, I think those two guys who want to win. I thought it showed a little bit, from Bryce Underwood, he is one of the vocal leaders of this team. He didn't.
You're right. He didn't back down. He didn't back down. He wasn't taking smack from anybody.
Yeah, which you kind of like to see that from your quarterback. So I didn't have a problem with it, but it does speak to the frustration. The fact that there were some miscommunications in the red zone when Michigan had a chance to score touchdowns and they ended up kicking field goals and in a close game. That makes the difference.
No, you're right, and it's tough. And when you look at when you think about Chip Lindsey, I mean, I guess you've already stated that they tried to do what they could do. Did Chip Lindsey his halftime changes? Did you notice anything that he did?
Yeah, he called the 75-yard run play right at halftime. That was a good call. We'll call that more often.
Like he drew it up himself.
Exactly. Here's the thing I'll say. Something I'm curious about going forward for this team. We've been looking to see, all right, how does Chip Lindsey's philosophy match up with Tyrone Moore's philosophy and what Michigan is known for? Now, obviously, Michigan's been known for the power run game, downhill run game. Line up and run it down your throat. and Chip Lindsey is known as a offensive coordinator who wants to run the ball. It does look to me like his way of going about it is a little bit different than what Michigan's done in the past. It looks to me like maybe Chip Lindsey wants to spread you out a little bit more,
right?
And maybe that's why we've seen some of those big plays that Michigan didn't have last year, the 50-plus yard runs. But it also doesn't look like Michigan's been as effective at just lining up and getting that 5-yard run when it's 3rd and 4 or whatever. And if Michigan can't do that regularly, I think that's just going to be a different offense. I think that's something I'm still looking to see. Can Michigan get back to being the team that can just line up and run it at you? Because especially if they're not generating a bunch of big plays in the passing game, that's kind of what they need to do.
Well, again, you're listening to Austin Meeks from The Athletic. Austin, I'm going to say this to you, and I'm going to say this to the rest of anybody who's listening. You're as good as your offensive line is, okay? And it shows. It showed when you went up against Oklahoma and in a hostile situation, getting bare knuckle, getting down in the ground in the dirt, and you need a yard. Did you get it? I'm going to say, no, you didn't get it. So guess what? You're as good as your offensive line. It is on the offensive coordinator, and it is not him to get the first down. It is his job to figure out where your identity is. It may not be the old Michigan way. It may not be because you don't have that brute strength that you had when you could do that and get deep and dirty and go straight forward. Maybe you got to get outside. Maybe you got to spread them to get the first down.
Yeah. No, that's exactly right. I don't think Michigan has the offensive line right now to be that team that they've been in the past. And they haven't had it for a couple of years. And it's noticeable. And especially if Gio El Hadi's going to be out for a bit, then that's another veteran guy off of that offensive line that now you have a young guy stepping in. So, yeah, I think that is a big part of it. You got to coach to your personnel, and whatever play you call, if you can't block it, it's not going to be a very successful play. And so that's just another thing. They're going to have to figure out, okay, if we are not the dominant offensive line that we were 2-3 years ago, then we got to find another way to move the ball.
And I mean, if you throw it, you know it. If you go to the ground, you pound. I see this team getting more into the shotgun, snapping the ball on a 3rd down now. And you give those running backs a chance to look and see, okay, there's the hole right there. You give them time. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I mean, the Justice Haynes play that you so eloquently brought up, that's a cutback. You understand that play was supposed to go play side to the right.
Yeah.
And Justice saw something. He looked over there and said, it's wide open. If I can get to that hole, I could get there. And he made the cut. Now, my coach told me, if you cut back, you're there by yourself. You ain't got nobody else out there. And sometimes you make that decision.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you saw that play, Oklahoma's entire defense was flowing right where they thought.
And the safety guy, guy who was back there, the guy who was supposed to make the play, Justin outran him.
Yep. Yeah. Oklahoma was so aggressive on defense. It looked to me like at every snap they were just coming downhill. And they made a lot of big plays because of it. They got in the backfield, had some tackles for loss. It burned them on that play because once Justice Haynes hit that hole, nobody was going to catch him. But aside from that one play, Oklahoma did a really good job.
No, they did. They ran a lot of they ran a lot of blitzes, run blitzes. They came after Bryce. They tried to they came out that they overmatched that offensive line. And one young man, his name is Jones, the junior. Good God, what was his name? The defensive tackle. He was coming through like a bear, like he never got touched. I mean, he was just coming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So I think if you're Michigan, you watch the tape, you learn from it. I think you also say, look, that's one of the better defenses we're going to see all year. There's not many defenses on Michigan's schedule that I think are going to be as talented or more talented than Oklahoma, or going to play quite like Oklahoma did. So I think you just take that game and say, all right, we got some work to do, but we're not going to panic because we lost a hard fought game against a good SEC team on the road. Let's just come back, work some things out, try to get ready for Big Ten play.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think, that was a good litmus test, but I don't think that game is going to, determine anything about Michigan's season.
No, I don't think so either. If it does anything, it helps them remember we got to play harder. We got to do better than what we put out on that field when we played against them.
Yeah.
So
absolutely, because they got to go to Nebraska,
right?
A week from Saturday, playing in that environment, like at Oklahoma. That was really good preparation because Nebraska's one of the craziest places in the Big Ten.
Yeah, you want to talk about fans and fandom and people going nuts. That's a place, and you know what? You know that the coach there, he's got a thing for Michigan, and he circled this game this year.
Oh yeah, no, when it all came down that Joan Moore is going to coach at Oklahoma,
mm-hmm.
and he's not going to coach at Nebraska, you know exactly how that landed in Lincoln.
Yes.
So he thinks that Oklahoma game is bigger than the game against us. We're going to show them. I guarantee you that's exactly how they're thinking in Lincoln.
Yeah, yes, you are right. And so with the start of this whole Jerome Moore suspension, how did you like the move with Biff Poggi?
I figured that was what they were going to do. I figured they'd want to let the coordinators just do their normal job and not have one of those guys having to be the head coach as well.
Mm-hmm.
Biff's been a head coach. He's basically Sharon Moore's right-hand man. He's around the team every day. So it makes sense. I don't expect it to look a lot different, but we'll see. I don't know. I mean, Biff is he's a character. He may have a little more personality on the sideline than Sharon, or different personality. I don't know. Will he go for every fourth down? We'll have to see. I really don't know what to expect from him as a head coach.
It'll be interesting, but I think Biff he'll be a clone of Sharon Moore. He'll keep it as conservative as anything. I think he'll wear sleeves too, Austin.
That's what they say. I think there is a dress code for that. Some places you can get away with the cutoffs. I don't think you can do that as the head coach at Michigan.
No, it crossed you guys' mind because Angelique was the one that asked, right?
Yeah, that was Angelique. It was a good question because I had that thought too. It's like, what's this guy going to wear when he runs out of the tunnel? It sounds like he'll have the coaching attire on.
Well, it sounds. You know what? You're right. I'm sure Sharon took the fact that I had to do this and how difficult it was for him when he was when he was running two positions, being the head coach and the offensive coordinator. So I'm sure that he took that in account, and that's why he made the decision he did. Really, ultimately.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. He mentioned that when he filled in for Jim Harbaugh, he was calling the plays and he was coaching the team. And it is hard to do both. I mean, there's head coaches that do both. Brett Venables at Oklahoma calls plays on defense, but it's the kind of thing, especially if you don't do it every game, to throw somebody into that could be challenging. So, when Biff came back, that was my first thought. It's like, well, part of why he's here is because Michigan's going to need a head coach for a couple games,
mm-hmm.
and he's been a head coach and he's been at Michigan, and that makes all the sense in the world.
So you tied everything together when that came out.
Well, I mean, obviously that's not the only reason he's here. I think, Jim Harbaugh really valued having him on the staff.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, and yes, it helped Jerome getting Jim focused. You know, Jim was he was always dabbling in the offense and always looking over there at the defense, but dabbling in the offense. And finally, Biff got him out of the offense and defense and made him an administrator and said, guys, run your teams now. And that's what happened. So I know Jerome said, you know, thanks. I mean, this is really helpful for me. We can run, we can do the things we need to do. I'll keep it the way Jim likes it, but they can run their offense.
Yeah. And there weren't that many people that could tell Jim Harbaugh what to do, but I always was under the impression that he really did listen to Biff. Like, somebody needed to tell him something.
Mm-hmm.
Biff had a way of getting through to him in a way that maybe some other people didn't. And I think people appreciated that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that was great for them. So let me ask you this question. Are you ready for a three-headed monster this weekend for Central Michigan?
I mean, what they're doing is pretty unusual. Obviously, you know, Matt Drinkall coming from Army, you know, has some of that background. I believe in their opener, they barely threw the ball at all. So yeah, I don't know if they're quite like a service academy necessarily, but I think there's some of that influence. And those tend to be hard games to play. I mean, that it tends to be a style that you don't see a lot of, and it can be a little bit hard to prepare for.
Yeah, you got three quarterbacks that are going to come, and then they're different. I mean, you're getting ready for three different people to be on the center, and you're going to get constant runs coming at you. So wait a minute, we didn't fare well with Army. We did win that game, but that was an Aiden Hutchinson when he was a freshman, great tackle that stopped that play. Remember?
It wasn't it in overtime?
Yes.
I remember that very well. It was the first season I was at Michigan, and that was a war. That game, Army gave Michigan absolutely everything they could handle in that game. Army went on the road last week and won at Kansas State. That offense is tough to prepare for. That style of play is tough to prepare for. You know, I imagine Central Michigan's still pretty early on and really kind of learning that scheme and how to play it. But I expect that to be kind of a challenging matchup for the defense.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Defense. Speaking of defense, I mean, when you look at that, and you alluded to this, they didn't play like we thought they would play against Oklahoma. I mean, they let a long drive kind of take the clock away from us.
Yeah, I think that if you look at anything in that game that is a little bit disappointing, I think Michigan's defense had some chances to get Oklahoma off the field and just couldn't do it. You know, sometimes you know, you got Mateer dead to rights on a sack and he just gets away and makes a play. The long drive at the end. You know, this defense was looked at as the strength of the team. I think it still is. But maybe a few more growing pains early in the season than we thought there might be, given the continuity with year 2 now under Wink Martindale. No big red flags for me, but just some things where it's like you can see that they're just not quite yet where they want to be.
Well, you did have the suspension with Jason Barnum, and that kind of hurt this defense. I mean, say what you will about him, but when he got back in that game, he played, and he brought some thunder with him. So, I mean, now you'll have the full game with him, and you'll be able to play him full time. And nothing against Cole Sullivan or anybody else. I mean, but Barnum made a difference.
Yeah. It seems like Wink has been sending some pressure from the linebackers in those first 2 games, and when it's Barham coming in there, like it's just different. You know, there are a few times that Cole Sullivan or Jimmy Rolder was the guy blitzing, and there was some pressure, but it's like when Jayshon Barham hits you, like, you know it. So
yeah,
not having him in the first half, that hurt.
Yeah, that's a true statement. So, I mean, how's the feel of this team? Have you had a chance to talk to any of the players about? And I know they had public speech and what to say, but how do they feel about Sharon and the suspension and everything like that?
I think they feel pretty motivated to go out there and make a point. We talked to Zach Marshall this week, tight end, and I mean, he basically came out and said it, like, the team's mad about this. Everybody made a big deal last week about Sharon Moore going back to play coach against Oklahoma, where he played.
Mm-hmm.
He also coached at Central Michigan, and I think there's some people in the locker room who are not real happy about the fact that he doesn't get a chance to coach in this game against the program where he kind of got his start as a coach. So,
mm-hmm.
I think the team's pretty motivated to go out there and make a point. I don't think they're going to like make a huge deal out of it, but just kind of want it to be known, like, hey, we miss our head coach. We don't like that this is the situation, and we want to go out there and show that with or without him, this team's going to be ready to play and make a statement.
Austin Meeks, we appreciate you being on again. Hey, love your takes on everything, and hopefully we have a good, go blue game. It's our first nooner. It's our first nooner.
Probably first of many. I kind of like the noon games. Gets me home early.
Miz does too. Miz wants homecoming to be a noon.
I do. I'm selfish here, Austin, because I want to see his Clark brothers over at the comedy show place right afterwards.
Yeah, that has big noon written all over it to me. I don't know what else is going on that weekend, but I won't be surprised if that's your big noon game.
You gotta get some wins. The wins, though. We got to get the wins.
Austin, from your mouth to God's ears, please, please, please. That's all I'm hoping. I just want one. That's just one. Just give me one.
Austin, appreciate you.
Ohio State people don't want him. They hate him in Columbus.
That's right. That's true.
They complain about it all the time.
Well, that tells you something about a Buckeye, doesn't it?
Yeah,
just saying.
Yeah, it does.
I gotta have a drink. I gotta get drunk. I need all day. I need it.
If I gotta deal with these Texas folks, I gotta have some inebriation in me.
Thanks, Austin. Appreciate it.
All right. See you guys.
That's Austin Meeks with the Athletic. Read up on him. He knows his stuff now. He knows it.
That's our guy right there.
We need to go to a break. When we come back, Coach Blade.
Can you gassed up, baby?
Exactly. You're listening to the M Zone on the Big 1050.
This is the M Zone.
And welcome back to the M Zone. Jamie Morris, Matt the Hitman Missler, best guy in the business.
It's funny when we do this, when we play the audio on, during the actual show and people are watching on stream, like, what the heck are they dancing to? You should know.
Exactly.
The
You
Wolverines.
should know.
We'll just tell you, Wolverines stop on third down. That's all you got to know.
Exactly. That's what it is.
That's all you got to know. Exactly. We just getting. Listen, the Wolverines got the stop on third down. That's all you need to know.
Right. And joining us as he does on every Friday at 4:30, Coach Blade. What's up, Blade? How you doing?
Ken. I'm doing good, thank you. I'm looking forward to the game tomorrow and a chance to reset. I told everybody that asked me about the game that I'm always disappointed when we lose, but I am not discouraged. I'm not discouraged at all because I see a lot of areas where we can improve. But I believe that the culture exists, the attitude exists, and the talent is there. And we can play deep into January. Now, to get there, there's some things that have to be done and corrected. Now, let's talk a little bit about Oklahoma just for a second. And I don't want to dwell on the past. It was a while ago, but I think it's important to look at it in this context. We went into a hostile stadium and played badly initially. I think it was a result of really Oklahoma's excellence. The four guys up front on defense are all pro prospects. And we ran into a tremendous quarterback, a gifted quarterback, and his performance was outstanding. It's been my experience that all things equal, when teams are relatively equal, and one team has a tremendous quarterback performance, it's very difficult to beat. And Mateer, who propelled himself into the front of the Heisman Trophy race, was tremendous. Not just throwing the ball, but also he's a gifted runner. He's a strong runner and he's elusive, and we did not handle him well. And there's reasons for that, which I'll talk about in a minute. But the most important thing that came out of that is when I listened to Coach Venerable, the Oklahoma coach, after the game. He said, I was curious when I came out at halftime about how Michigan would respond. And he said, when I looked in their eyes and looked in their faces, when I saw them in the tunnel, I could tell they weren't going to quit. He said, I could tell they were coming out determined to get back in the game and to play the second half and win the game. So that was the perception of an opposing coach who's been around. And that tells the story of our team, I believe. So it's a team that made a heck of a lot of mistakes. I think we had to look at that film really critically. And the coaches had to look at themselves and be critical of themselves where it applies. And each man had to look at his performance and look himself in the mirror and figure out where he had to be better and where he had to improve. So real quickly, when I look around the Big Ten, Jamie, boy, there's a lot of good teams. Illinois looks really good. Now, we can't tell. Indiana and some of these teams have played nobody. So we can't tell. And for Ohio State to play Grambling, who has, 60 scholarships?
Yep.
Even though they paid Grambling $1 million, and that helps Grambling a lot. I don't think it means anything. And I don't think it proves anything. And I think that college football has to look at itself, too. We talked about self-examination, about where you're going to get better. But these games these guaranteed wins don't mean it doesn't make sense in the college football playoff era where 12 teams are going to get in to play these teams. And I don't think the fans like it. I don't think it helps the team. I know these lesser schools get the big payday, and that helps them fund their athletic department and their programs. But there's a better way. I don't like non-competitive games. I don't think it helps you. And you know what I always tell the kids, my kids or anybody else's kids, you only get so many times up at the plate. You only get so many games in your life, and everybody out there in the audience can reflect on it. So you better take advantage of every one and relish every one and be at your best. And so I don't think it's sometimes fair to the opposing. It's like me playing chess, which I've never done against the chess player in the world. I mean, it's stupid. It makes no sense, and it doesn't help anybody. I guess if they gave me $1 million to lose, that might be an incentive, but I don't like it. So when I look around the league, I think Michigan State had a big, and I think Michigan State is much improved. And I think that quarterback is a tremendous player. They got a great receiver in Marsh, kid out of River Rouge. They have a wonderful tight end. So they're going to be hard to handle if you look down the line. Oregon's really got it. And their quarterback came from Martin Luther King High School in Detroit and by way of UCLA. And boy, he's playing great. And I like Lanning. I think he's a wonderful coach. Ohio State is loaded, and they're going to be good. We don't have to worry about them. Penn State feels like this is their best team ever. Purdue under this older team in Purdue. Washington is really good. Boy, they have a good quarterback too, Jamie. That kid's a nice player, and they have a great back. They have maybe the best back in the country out there. Wisconsin, under Fickell is going to be a rocking sock'em team. They're trying to get back to the way that they demonstrated in past years. So as I look, there's a lot of good teams. Now, the only teams that have played anybody are Ohio State played Texas, but Iowa played Iowa State and lost and didn't move the ball well. Of course, Coach Ferentz is about to become the winningest coach in Big Ten history, and that's a monumental achievement at Iowa, in my opinion. He's done a tremendous job there. He's had 8, 9, 10 win seasons, and it's well deserved. And all the accolades that come with being the greatest coach in Big Ten history. They always play great defense out there. And of course, we played a really, really good Oklahoma team who I think is going to fare well through the rest of the season, particularly with that quarterback as their leader. And Northwestern is struggled. They haven't won a game. And then UCLA, surprisingly, does not look good. They had that great quarterback transfer from Tennessee, but they haven't been able to pull the team together. So nobody's lost in the league except Iowa, Michigan, Northwestern, UCLA. But a lot of those teams have not played anybody. So it's way too early to tell, but as I look at the offensive weapons and the offensive talent around the league, I think it's as good as I've ever seen. There's a lot of great quarterbacks out there, which is a great challenge to us. So I talked about being aggressively critical of ourselves. So the coaches got to look at it. I think that Sharon Moore is the author of one of the most sophisticated and successful rushing offenses in the history of college football for the last 3 years, last 4 years, really. By the same token, there comes a point in time when you're foot to foot there in that gap blocking technique. Now, they're going to block well against lesser teams, but when there's other teams are going to start to defend you, and they're going to put people in those gaps, and they're going to make it hard for you to block them. So we have to see how the other people are defending us and take advantage of what they do where they're vulnerable. Because if they're going to commit so many people to run, they're vulnerable. So we have to, I think, spread the offense out a little bit, and I think we have to unleash the kid. I really do. I don't want to play, don't play tight with him. Let him go. Let this kid go. He is talented, and I believe he's going to he's going to do well because he has the physical ability to make the plays. So there were some communication problems. We saw when McCulley went out there was blocking the kid when it was a check. So he made a check. He probably made that check 100 times at Belleville and threw a touchdown pass. But McCulley didn't hear it. And that's why he was blocking out there when he dropped back. But it was called run play. It was a run play, then he checked to the pass. And there were a couple other RPOs, and you saw Justice Haynes, who's a real competitive boy. He got mad.
He did.
I think there's ways you communicate, your fury, and he was furious. But I think he can do it in a better way. In the end, they talk to each other. But I also think that was a learning experience for Bryce. And I think it's good. I think Justice Haynes is good. I like him. I like him for because he's a heck of a back and a home run hitter. But he was mad, and now they solved it. But the key to that is good communication. So we weren't, not everybody was on the same page, and it resulted in, Oklahoma stopping us. Remember that 50% of what the quarterback does happens before the play. If it's so loud there, you can't communicate, then you have to have other ways to communicate. You've seen people go to the helmet, quarterbacks go to the helmet, different things, so the receiver can know. And so those are all areas we can grow. That wasn't about ability. That was just about correcting these mistakes. I think the offensive line is being maligned right now. Now, I'm worried about they're nicked. They're nicked up there. They're hurt. And we cannot afford to lose too many people out in there. By the same token, we call those guys to excellence. As a coach, you have to say to them, be excellent. Don't make mistakes and be a great player. And if you're going to be mistakes, if you're going to make mistakes and you're not going to give grade, now I'm not concerned about their effort, but you're not going to execute and get it done, then I'm going to get somebody else who can do it. You got to get after players and you got to call them to be excellent. That's coaching. Now, you know that they're not going to be perfect, but the only way they're going to get close to perfection is if you demand it and you're critical of them and you get on them. They can play better. I'm confident they can play better. I know they can play better, and you have to look them in the eye and challenge them. And the same thing is true with our defense. There's a lot of gifted guys there. Now, the edge guys played well. Hausman didn't play well. There's some other guys. You got to say that defensive line, we're used to great defensive line play. We expect penetration, and we expect you to make plays. And here's how you do it. And you get after them. The defense has to get off blocks. They're hanging on blockers. You got to execute your gap responsibility and engage the blocker, but then disengage and then tackle the damn quarterback when he runs. And we should have known. I said last week that last year he scored 15 touchdowns. We should have known, and we probably did, and coached it, that they were going to run him when they get inside the red zone, and they sure did it effectively. We got to take our quarterback, and we got to have some runs for him. Now, one of the things Bryce does very well is threaten the defense on the perimeter and start to look like he's going to run. Then when the defensive players start to react to him, he's able to throw the ball behind them. He's demonstrated that. But he came out of there once for the 9-yard run. We cannot be afraid to run our quarterback. I'm not saying run him 15 times or even 10 times. But the defense has got to we have to make them defend his feet by putting a spy in there so they know he can come out of there and make critical first downs at the same time. Much like the quarterback at Buffalo and the NFL does, and the great player Lamar, the great player, with the Ravens, Mahomes, all those guys come out of the pocket at some time and make plays with their feet. And we have to prepare Bryce to do that, and we got to have design plays for him to do that. And that threatens the defense. They have to defend 11 men. We have to make the defense defend 11 men. I think I want Max Bredesen to take charge. He's a great leader. And put him out there and let him be the lead blocker. He knocks people over. So I'd like to see our offense be more creative. Let the kid go. Split them out once in a while. Create some natural running lanes. And also some throwing lanes. I think when they're foot to foot in there, they're pass protecting, it's hard sometimes for Bryce to get throwing lanes. And I think we should be, sometimes we should throw on rundowns and run on pass downs. We have to be a little bit more, unconventional, and we've got to be more aggressive as we approach our offense. Now, the defensive backs, I think, are really good, but I think sometimes they took poor angles. We got to correct that. A poor angle, a defensive back, as you know, Jamie, you made a lot of defensive backs miss. And when they took poor angles on you, you were gone. You have to understand that when you come from the outside in, you got to force everything in. You never let them outside of you, and you have to take the appropriate angle. If you don't, the great backs are going to beat you, and they're going to get big plays against you. So we had some poor angles. Those things are just things you can, they just got to work on those things. But I think we have some real players. Now, Zavada, I love him more than anybody, and he misses first and the only field goal that I'm going to allow him to miss all year. And we got to do a good job at that. So I'm disappointed, but I am not discouraged at all, because all these things that happened, I saw in that game, can be corrected. And do we have the attitude? Yeah. Coach Rumble said Michigan came out in the second half. Man, I looked in their eyes. They weren't done. They were going to fight. And he said they fought all the way to the end. So that's been our attitude. That is the Michigan way. That's who we are. We might not win every game, but everybody's going to know they played in a hell of a game, and they're going to be sore the next day. So that's the way we play our football. So I don't want us to leave our identity. We're going to run, and make them defensive run. But when they do defensive run, then I want to be able to take advantage of that by calling the right plays. I do think we should have some trick plays in there. Now, they ran some reverses, stuff like that, but you don't run those reverses early. You run reverses against flowing defenses that are over pursuing. That's when you run the reverse. So, I think that there's room to improve in every single area. And when you look, as you look across the board, is the talent there? Yeah. Is the coaching there? Yeah. Is the attitude there? Yeah. So, disappointed that we lost, but not discouraged. Is everything ahead of us? Yes. Can we win this league? Yes. Can we go to the college football playoffs and make a hell of a run? Yes. It's all there. But we got to get better. Like our old coach, Jamie, said all the time. You don't stay the same. You either get better or you're worse. So you get better, get better, get better. That's a philosophy that everybody should embrace. Get better as a person. Get better as a family. Get better as a community. Get better as a state. Get better as a country. Get better as a world. Get better. Be better. Be better as a player. Challenge the players. Be excellent. You tell them if you're not excellent, then I'll get somebody in there. Then you're out. So that's what you want. You get off the damn blockers. You get off the blockers and get to the ball. And you make the tackle. You have the ability to do it. You have the technique. So get it done. And if you don't, someone else will be in there. Now, this guy at Central Michigan's a good coach. They struggled against Pittsburgh. For some reason, he ran the ball in the first half, only ran the ball, didn't even try to pass. And then Pittsburgh got way ahead. But they came back when they started to throw the ball pretty effectively. And I want to go back to the receivers, and I'll do that in a minute because I think we have good receiver talent too. And people are being critical of them. They're good. We have some guys there, and we can have a good receiver corps. So, and I like McCauley a lot. He can be really devastating. And what a catch he made. He's 6'4". And so we got to get Klein back. And then we got to have a couple of the other guys, Goodwin and more. Those guys got to step up and play and make big plays. And the second to third team tight ends, I expect to come in there and catch the ball like Klein and Lovelace did before that. Loveland did before that. We need excellent play, and it's there. Now, I'm sorry to digress. Get back to Drinkwall. This guy's a good coach. This guy. His whole philosophy is predicated on the players' well-being and their development, and then fierce competitors. He wants fierce competitors, and he wants to foster that. The first thing he said after the game is, I blame myself for this loss. I did a bad job of preparation and a bad job of coaching. And I have room to improve, and I have things to correct. Also, the players do. So Central Michigan has 3 quarterbacks, and they play them all. One quarterback, Flores, is the only guy who's run the ball. The big guy is from Iowa. And he played there, 3 years ago, started in a bowl game. And I think it was a bowl game they won. So they had 3 quarterbacks, and he plays them intermittently. He's not afraid to play any of the 3 quarterbacks. I think that's a tough way to go, but that's what he does. He has 2 good running backs, and they have a tradition there. I remember Coach Duromedy told me, who coached there after Coach Kramer, who went on to lead the SEC as a commissioner, that after he beat Michigan State twice in a row, he went to Bo and said, Bo, why won't you schedule me? He said, because I'm not a damn fool. I know what you did to Michigan State and Perlis, and I ain't scheduling you. So Central Michigan's going to come in with they're going to come in with the idea that, well, I didn't get recruited by these guys, and I wasn't good enough to come here, but I'm going to show them who I am. And I'm going to show Central Michigan has a tradition, and they have a good tradition. McElwain was the coach there, and he coached the players well, and he left last year. He just left. So this guy's new. He came from Army, where they had wonderful success, more success than Army's ever had since, I think, Colonel Red Blake. The defensive coordinator is named Sean Cronin. Sean is the son-in-law of Chuck Heater. Chuck Heater played
okay.
with
You know Chuck.
Yeah. We love Chuck.
Yeah.
You know Chuck.
I do.
Chuck almost stole you. He almost stole you. He almost went to the conference. But I went in there. I said, Jamie, Coach Bolt loves you, Jamie. And if you go to Wisconsin, he will come and kick your ass. And he said, well, I go. Does he really love me? I said, he will love you. I said, maybe not right now. And he did.
Yes, you
He
did
at
say
the
that.
end. He loved you at the end. He loved you at the end. He actually, I got to be honest with you. And I told the story. He said, man, he's not very tall. You know, he said, you know, short arm backs are fumblers. I said, what about Archie Griffin? He said, okay, we'll give him a shot. Maybe you'll be a kick returner. But then you became the greatest ground rusher in the history of Michigan football. So he ate his words. So Central Michigan's a challenge. It comes at a nice time, I think, because let's be honest, we should be able to beat Central Michigan University. Does that mean we can just go out there and throw our helmets out there and expect them to win? No, that doesn't happen. If we go out there, we make mistakes, for lackadaisical, we throw the ball wrong, fumble the ball, kick it around, don't play at our very best, we're not going to win. But this is a challenge. It doesn't matter who your opponent is. You be excellent. You be your best. And if you can't rise up to that level, then I'll get somebody that can. That's how you coach them. Now, our balance is good. We're still 46% pass, 54% rush. They, interestingly enough, and this statistic means nothing. They won their first game against San Jose State out there, which was an accomplishment in itself with a new staff. And so it's a crazy statistic, but they're 69% run, 31% pass. They didn't rush the ball. They rushed for 50 yards against Pittsburgh. We got to shut the run off. We got to shut the run off on Central Michigan, force them to pass, and then let's see if they can beat us passing. Our average per pass attempt, the average yards we gain per pass attempt, 7.1. That's not good. You got to be over 8. We were doing well, and then we didn't do as well last week. We all know that. They're 7.3, so they have a better average per pass attempt than we do. Points allowed, we're allowing 20.5. That's too many. Can't allow that many. We got to get that statistic better. Now, in modern age of football, you're not going to hold people scoreless. There's too many gifted athletes. We talked about all the throwers, and I didn't even talk about the catchers and the runners in the Big Ten Conference. You know, but we got to be stingy with points. The team that allows the fewest points in the country very well could end up being a national champion. And when we won it, that's where we were the best. We didn't give up points. They've given up 29.5. So I expect us to score. We came out, against New Mexico and had 2 great drives, running the ball almost exclusively and punched it in there. Then we sort of went back into, I don't know, we got conservative, and then we didn't continue to dominate like that. But that's what we should do. And that's what we should challenge our offensive line, our offense to do against Central. Turnover ratio, we've been pretty good. We're +2. So we've intercepted the ball. We did a great job on special teams, causing those fumbles, and that helped us, and that put us in the game. They're +1.5. So they've been pretty good. They're good. They've not thrown interceptions, and they've not fumbled, and they're +1.5, and they've created turnovers. Kicking efficiency, we talked about Savada. Their kid is 4 for 5. As long as 41. He missed one over 50. Their net punt is 40.3. And our net punt, and this is not a good statistic, is 37.7. We've got to punt better. We've got to be over 38 yards net punt. It's the most important play in football because it dictates field position. So you got to punt the ball, you kick it, and you cover it, and you tackle. And we got to do what we did last week and create some turnovers. And also, we got to get some positive plays. The young kid who returns our kick did a nice job last week. He held on the ball, did not fumble. But we're not doing good fielding punts or running them back for any good yardage. We got to work on that. Third down efficiency, we were bad. And right now, we're 33% on the year, and that's not good. We've got to be better on third down. That is not acceptable. We've got to be well over 40. 40% of the time, we're going to be successful on fourth down. They're only successful 26% of the time. Our defense, now this is also not good. Our defense has only stopped them, the opponent, 45% of the time on third down. Third down, of course, is a critical down in football. The teams that are most successful on third down are usually the teams that prevail. And they have been bad. They've been 56% of the time, the opponent's been successful on third down. So we got to really work on that. Our quarterback efficiency, and I'm not down on him at all. I think he learned a lot last week. He went into a hostile environment and he made some mistakes. He made some communication mistakes. And he also, was not at his very best. He was under duress. We got to protect him better. But he's 54%. He's completed 54% of his passes. I think he only had 9 completions. He's better than that. He's a better player than that. And we got to tell him, you are a better player than that. We expect you to be a better player, and here's how we're going to help you do that. Now, they've completed 70% of their passes, but they haven't passed at all. And they only did so for the first time last week in the second half. So we've got to let our quarterback loose. Let him loose, man. You got a thoroughbred there. Let him run. What did old Bobby Bowden, the great coach of Florida State, came up and he said, my philosophy with my players, if I got a hunting dog, let him hunt. We got a hunting dog. We got a great quarterback. Let him throw the ball. Let's let it go. Let's play football, man. Let's be open. And let's run the ball and be tough. But let's not be worried about what's going to happen. If we have a few mistakes, a few turnovers, then it doesn't matter. We're going to come back because we're going to play great defense. So what I'd like to see is our kids play up to their ability. Now, it wasn't because of motivation. I talk a lot about motivation and performance, and I'm going to tell you one story real quick because it's a good story. And I'm proud of this because I'm involved in only one way. My son-in-law is a wonderful young man. He's great-grandfather to my grandchildren, and he's a great coach. He is the head soccer coach at the University of Rhode Island. He has started, he's a mid-level coach. He doesn't have NIL money. He's had a rugged start. He was 1 tie and 2 losses. He was going to play St. John's, who has a really good team this year, and they played well against the top 2 or 3 teams in the country, and I think they beat one of the top 10 teams. So he's going to Long Island to play St. John's. On the day before, one of his best players fell and cut his head. When they took him to the emergency room, they said, you have a mass inside your skull. They immediately scheduled surgery for him. The players were, of course, distraught and concerned. No one knew what was going on, and they scheduled him in a Providence hospital, Hasbro hospital, for surgery the next day. 5 of his players and his roommate came to Coach Elliott, and they said, Gareth, we can't play. We can't leave our teammate. And Gareth said, look, I respect that. He took those kids down to St. John, a depleted squad with some of his best players who were so concerned about their teammate, they felt the need to stay with him in the hospital before he got operated on. And with tears in his eyes, he took this ragtag group of kids who were crying, who cried before the game, and he beat St. John's 2-1. And he said they all cried after the game. Now, the good story is we found out after the operation, there wasn't a malignancy. They think they got all the tumor, and he's going to recover, the player in question. But my point is this: when you take a group of kids and all of a sudden they become motivated and incentivized, and they start to believe in each other, and they got something to prove or something to play for, there's nothing they can't accomplish. There is nothing this Michigan team cannot accomplish in my estimation. We have the players. We have the talent. We have the tradition. They can stand on the great tradition of Michigan. They just need to play up to their ability. Get off the damn block, defenders, and they can do it. They've done it before. They know how to do it. Block and sustain your blocks. Defeat your opponent. Defeat your opponent. Express to him right away that I have the will to win and you will not defeat me today. I am here to beat you, and do it consistently. So what I want to see tomorrow is the same thing I always want for the kids. Win the turnover battle, no turnovers. Play with passion and play together. Do what those group of kids out in Rhode Island did. Get together. You only get so many times up at the plate, man. You only get so many times to put that great helmet on. You only get so many of those, so make it count. It doesn't matter who you're playing. I don't give a damn who you're playing. Be highly motivated. I don't care if they put the Buffalo Bills out there or they put the worst team in the country in Division III out there. You go out there to play hard and win. No turnovers, win the kicking game, get to the ball. They got to rap when they tackle. Remember our old friend Donnie Dufek, who played when I played, one of the great players in Michigan history.
Mm-hmm.
When that man tackled you, his arms, his hands, on the back of your thighs, you had his fingerprints. On the back of your thighs, Jim, you had Donnie Dufek's fingerprints in the back of your thighs for weeks. Because that man, when he grabbed you, he wouldn't let you go. He would not. So that's how you tackle. You can't just hit the man and not bring your arms into the action of the tackle, which is an unnatural act. You bring your body with you, and you don't lunge. So gang tackle, to stay in your blocks. No penalties. That one penalty was critical when we got caught with that face mask when we were reaching up to get him. One of our defensive tackles. You can't make those mistakes. Don't do it. Play for Michigan. Play with passion. Play up to your ability. Be excellent. Be excellent. Every man be excellent. Be excellent as an individual. Be excellent as a squad, offense, defense, kicking. And be excellent as a team. Call yourself excellent. Go out there and kick ass and play as hard as you can and have fun and be a champion. All right, James, that's what I got.
Thanks, Blade. Appreciate it. That's Coach Bob Thornblade, former player, former coach. We need to go to a break. It's question of the day. 3 keys. 3 keys and 1 extra. What is your meal on the 12 o'clock game?
That's a good question. Do you go breakfast or you go right to lunch?
That's what I'm saying.
What do you do?
So what do you do on that? You're listening to the M Zone on the Big 1050.
This is the M Zone.
And welcome back to the M Zone. Jamie Morris, Matt the Hitman Missler, best guy in the Bizzler. Big Sweet, we're thinking about you. You hang in there, bro. I know you had a difficult day, but it's time to relax. Now you hear that song?
Mm-hmm.
You ain't nothing but an OG.
That's
we know
right.
you. We got you, bro.
The original OG.
Exactly.
Original OG.
734-998-1050. Your 3 keys. And what do you eat on a noon game before the game? Do you have breakfast or do you have lunch?
I know some people that will do like breakfast. I know like one of I always like to shout out the Jerks Tailgate because they're over. They've always invited me out, like, when I was out on site. And for the noon kickoffs, they always have a soiree, a smorgasbord of great breakfast cuisine. So I know they got that. I know for us, I believe it's going to be burgers and burgers and brats because it's the Sidecar Slider Bar again tomorrow. But for me, I think, for a noon kickoff, I think I kind of go in the middle. I'll go with like a sandwich or something, you know? Do some sandwiches. Get some cold cuts. Get some cold cuts. Get some cold cuts.
Maybe an egg, maybe something like that. Egg sandwich, something like that. I don't think.
I don't know. I mean, hey, you take some ham and put an egg on it. There you go. You got the best of both worlds. Call it a brunch sandwich.
Exactly. There you go.
Jamie, where are your 3 keys before we hit the
3
phones?
keys. Well, I dominate the line of scrimmage, both offense and defensive line. That's a key always. The third one is no turnovers. No turnovers.
So dominate the offensive line.
Offense and defensive line. Dominate the line of scrimmage.
So that's 1 and 2 right there.
Right.
Okay. And then number 3 is low penalties.
No turnovers.
Okay.
And we can't have penalties because Jerome's not there.
That's true.
So we can't have penalties. No penalties. Those are my 3 keys.
Okay. For me, it's I'm looking more on the individual aspect of things here because we really don't know how these 3 quarterbacks are going to kind of go into the whole situation for the game tomorrow. Joe Labus, I believe it's how his last name is pronounced.
Labus, got it.
That's the guy that seems to be the primary passer for the Chips, at least. As long as you can kind of keep him contained, or better yet, Glasser or Flores, who are the other 2 quarterbacks, and those they're actually up there in terms of rushing yards itself. If you can keep the quarterback contained, you're probably going to win you're going to win the day on the defensive side of the battle. Offensively, this is going to be one of those games where you should be able to play a little bit around with your passing game. The rushing game, I don't have an issue with whatsoever. The running game itself, I think Michigan has got that down to a T where they don't have to worry about, the rushing attack, especially when, let's see, trying to figure out defensively what they allow in terms of rushing yards. I can't find it on ESPN. Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate that one. But, when you've got, law and order in the backfield, you shouldn't have much issue. I kind of expect to see a better effort from Jordan Marshall.
Yeah, I think you'll see more of him, and you'll see him on the field. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so that's number 2 for me, and for number 3, keep yourself injury free.
Yeah,
because the week afterwards, it's a big game on the road in Nebraska. They're looking for a huge upset. They're looking to get themselves back in the relevancy of college football once again. So you want to try to stop them as best as you possibly can. So that to me is the 3 keys for me, at least.
There you go. 734-998-1050. What's up, Mustafa?
Hey, Jamie, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How about you?
I'm all right.
I'm all right.
What's wrong?
What's wrong?
We're
Give it to me.
Therapy session. What's going on? Talk to us, big dog.
Come on.
First of all right. You hear me out. I have no keys to the game because it is the type of game where, we should not be talking about keys. You should be able to go out there, just get in the stadium, and do whatever you wanted to do. There's those type of games, right? Those kind of games where you should be, if you're Michigan, you should be able to go in there and do whatever it is that you want to do. So whatever you want to make look good, you can make it look good to fool us, to fool people. I do have some concerns though.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I'm not going to see anything to kind of ease those concerns. And here, Jimmy, uncomfortable to see this first couple games. The first game I saw was Michigan on 4th down and maybe 1 or 2 in plus territory against New Mexico. Sean Moore chose to give the way back to New Mexico. I'm like, okay, I mean, this is not Michigan. Because in years past, man, last few years, even as a fan, like me, you don't know nothing about the football, you know. Michigan may need 2 downs to get 4, 5, 6, 7 yards. It was just a given. I'm like, man, this is New Mexico, man. And Sean is going to give the ball away? I'm like, okay. And last week, same thing. I'm like, man, you are 3rd down and 3, and you dial up a play for McCurley. In years past, you know as a fan, Sean didn't run the ball twice to get those 3, 4 yards. He didn't do it. That tells me something, man, that he has no faith on this O-line. He doesn't believe they can get those yards against New Mexico, let alone Oklahoma. And I was like, man, if we don't get that fixed, even last year, that was a goal. He would have gone for that. He went on 4th down against Ohio State twice. Got one, failed to get one. But so far, man, early in the season, man, this offensive line woes may be deeper and more troubling than we thought. For Michigan football, coached by Sean Moore, not to do that, it speaks loud. Unfortunately, tomorrow, we're not going to see nothing. I'm not going anywhere. I ain't going to the game tomorrow. I'm going to stay home. So
wow, you packing it in, bro?
No, don't say that.
No, I'm just saying I'm not trying to say anything bad. I'm just saying you ain't going to the game.
Is it grass cutting day or something? Are you pulling a John U. Bacon? It's get the lawnmower out, grass cutting day.
Right. Are you cutting grass or something?
Yeah, I will.
You don't cut no grass.
Time. There's some leaves already falling down, and I don't want to pick no leaves up, so I'm gonna lower the lawnmower even lower and just smash it down.
Oh, that's good. I know. I do that with my lawnmower. I get on top of them leaves now.
And I will go work out in the morning, come home, and eat me a nice Western omelet with some turkey bacon or sausages, and then lay down and watch the game. And that's what I'm doing.
So, do you think turkey bacon is a little bit better when you think about it?
Well, I mean, real bacon smells better, though.
I get the real bacon. I can't have the real bacon either, so I just gave up meat totally. I don't eat processed meat.
I mean, do you go with like the beef bacon, like the halal bacon there, Mustafa? Because again, I'm not entirely sure.
There we go. Man, see, me, I don't talk about religion. I don't know too much about my stuff, man. Halal bacon. There you go, halal.
Mustafa, you gotta understand. I work, before I got my big old butt into radio, I worked a lot of time over on the east side, the east side of Detroit, western Dearborn, east side of Dearborn, all over Dearborn. So trust me, when we start talking about, all the halal stuff, trust me, brother, I know exactly all about it, man.
Yes, man. Yeah, it's very important. I mean, you seem to know a whole lot about that stuff. Anyway, yes, what I'm gonna do, man. I'm going to the game tomorrow. I'm gonna wait.
Okay.
I wish that was a good game where I can really help see if they're gonna improve on these concerns. But man, there's no key. Just show up, like me say, no injury, and just be mellow. I mean, 34-15, 34-10, whatever. And then I'll see you next week at Nebraska.
Play your game.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yes. I have another question for you now before I hang up.
Yep, go ahead.
And this one don't make any sense. I'm watching football every day. I'm watching football tonight. Indiana play bunch of nobody.
Right.
But everywhere I go watch football, I see these little receivers, skinny looking receivers making plays. Like every school is able to get those guys. Why Michigan receivers don't look like that? Why they don't make those kind of plays that they make every single day and every U.S. stadium around the country?
I mean, we got receivers. We got Freddie Moore. We got Samaj. You got Samaj. You got some little receivers, and I don't mean to pick on those two, but they didn't got bigger and stronger. I saw muscles popping out. I said, boy, look at them kids.
No, Jamie, you didn't get my point. Real quick, I'm sure a lot of people are waiting in line. Let's say when I watched the other Boston College play Michigan State the other day.
Right.
That's Boston College, for God's sakes. That's Michigan State with a kid named Omari Kelly. Came from nowhere. We don't have a receiver that makes plays like that. That's what I'm talking about. Why we can't get those guys?
They're coming.
Boston College.
We got the quarterback. Wait a minute. We got the quarterback now. They're coming. I'm just saying they're coming.
Yeah,
they want to play with him.
Yeah, I mean, I'll grant it. I mean, it was only game number 2. It's a hostile road environment. I mean, I know Oklahoma, hasn't been like the prime Oklahoma that we had seen like in the early 2000s when it was under what's his face, the former coach over at Oklahoma, Stoops. That, but I'll grant it. It's an 18-year-old young man that's trying to make his way through the season, but I got a lot of hope for him. There was a lot of pros from that game from Oklahoma. There are a lot of cons, but there were some pros at the very least that you can say, hey, at least he got those big non-con hostile environment jitters hopefully out of him. So it shouldn't be too much of an issue when they go to Lincoln next Saturday.
The whole season gonna hang on that game.
Oh, yeah.
I care, man. I mean, yeah. So we'll see what happens then.
Come on, Mustafa. You got to feel it, baby. You're not worried about Central Michigan. That's gonna be scary. I worry about everybody. Every game we play.
I'm not fired up at all. All right, for this game, I'm just not fired up.
All right, you get yourself your breakfast sandwich, you get them leaves done, and then you go in there and turn that TV on, and you and me are watching that game.
Are you not going either?
I have a soccer game I have to go to.
Yeah, he's got to be a daddy tomorrow.
I got daddy time.
Wow.
Yeah, I got a 1:15
cool,
soccer
man.
game.
That's pretty good, though.
That's
pretty good, man. All right, man. I'll talk to you, though. Have a good game.
All right, Mustafa. 734-998-1050. Jake from Ann Arbor. What's up, Jake?
What a great day to be on Michigan Wolverines. I know we lost last week, but I'm still on the board. I'm on board, win or lose. I'm not one of those fans that give up even after a loss and stuff. I'm behind them, win or lose. And I just want to say one thing. I think we're going to win, and this was a good lesson for us, and I am pumped up. We are less than 19 awesome hours away till kickoff, and my thing is I'm excited. I'm having a large coffee and stuff because that's the way it gets me pumped up for a noon game and stuff. I want to hear you, Wolverine Nation. When I say go, you say blue. Go!
Blue!
Go!
Blue!
Go!
Blue!
Great to be a Michigan Wolverines. Great to be a Michigan Wolverines. One game, one play, one moment at a time. I'll have them listen. Go blue, win or lose. I'll have them listen. Go blue, shock the world. We're going to do it, and we're going to come back and win the national championship.
Go blue, baby.
I love the comments that Jake always brings every single time we got the show. Pumped up.
Thanks, Jake. I appreciate that. You got me all fired up, and I got goosebumps.
We're fired up, ready to get things going.
What, boy.
I mean, if Blade didn't get you amped up, Jake will get you amped up. And if both of them can't get you amped up, well, you better get a large coffee like Jake is going to get in the morning.
Exactly.
Hey, Jamie, let's hit a break real quick, and we come back. We'll take Hadley, and I know Philly is going to call up, so we'll get to them, and then we got our game picks. And I got to get a question from the chat because we got a tie in the fan vote.
Oh, okay. Let's do that. You're listening to the M Zone on the Big 1050.
Yeah, I don't know why you left your speaker there. All right, chat. Just you and me right now. So let me go solo box right here. Solo box. I need help. I need someone in the chat to answer this one because there was a tie in the fan vote. Let me double check, make sure that I am correct with this one. Yep, it is the only one. It's the game at noon on ESPN. The first person in the chat that puts who they think's going to win this game, Clemson and Georgia Tech, 12 noon on ESPN, will be the deciding factor. Who wins between Clemson and Georgia Tech down in Hotlanta at 12 noon? Does Clemson come back after a disappointing game against Troy and after losing to LSU? Or does Georgia Tech and the Yellow Jackets, do they get a marquee win at home? Who wins between Clemson and Georgia Tech? I need to know in the chat. Someone's going to be the tiebreaker. Who is winning Clemson, Georgia Tech? I'll leave that up. And the first comment that comes through when we come back or, in the break, that's where we're going. So put your guesses in there and we'll make the decision that way. In the meantime, be right back on stream.
This is the M Zone.
And welcome back to the M Zone. Jamie Morris, Matt the Hitman Missler, best guy in the Bizzler.
Well, I got the tiebreaker that I needed for a pick'em. So
did you get it?
Yep, we got the tiebreaker pick'em. And if anyone has got, if the pick is wrong, you can blame Vinny from Raleigh.
You know what? You gotta
love you, Vinny.
Yeah, 734-988-1050. Hey there, Hadley.
No, J-Mo. Well, let's get ready and play some football.
Yeah.
3 keys. Well, you said it. Get that offensive line in shape, man. Come on. Get it together, guys. You know what was funny is, if I heard right, Oklahoma offensive line had 3 new guys, I believe. And what do we got? 3 new guys. But who played better on offense?
Well, what I will say about that, though, too, is that one of the guys on our offensive line did go down with an injury. But I think the other thing, too, is that their quarterback, John Mateer, like and I mentioned this to an Oklahoma fan, like that guy is he's an X factor. He will be an X factor. And honestly, I know it's only going into week 3. I would not be surprised that he's on some Heisman boards at this point. Like he's a very patient young man when it came to trying to find out the right running pass to go to. And if he couldn't find a gap to go through, he bounced that thing outside and he did an outstanding job. I'll give that young man all the credit in the world.
They definitely had the game plan in place, and they knew what they were doing down there and everything. So, and that crowd was really into it. I hope, when we play them next year at the big house, I hope.
It will be remembered. Don't you worry. It will be remembered.
I'm sure it will. Do you think that would be a night game, Jamie?
I think it would be. I think Fox. Well, no, it could be a big nooner.
As far as a return game,
yes.
Oh, it'll be a noon game.
It could be a big nooner. I'm sorry, Hadley. I spoke out of turn.
Yeah, I think it would all depend on, because we already know it's going to be week 2 of the college football season. It's just a matter of like who else is scheduled to play that same week. But I'm willing to put a gentleman's bet down that it'll probably be a big noon kickoff because, again, Fox and Big Ten want to get the best product on the TV.
There's been so much talk, Jamie, lately with regards to Underwood. Should he run? Should he not run? Should he just do this? Just let the man have fun. Just go out there and enjoy the game. And I think he was slightly a little nervous there in Oklahoma because it's first road game, of course, and everything else. But I mean, guy ran for like 5,000 yards in high school, didn't he?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I understand, the football players in college are a lot stronger, bigger, and everything else. And
yeah.
I don't blame
Hadley. If this kid was a sophomore and he went in there and that was his first time, I would have changed. I would change my mind and say he's been there. He's used to it. He's played in games like this. But he's 18 and he's a freshman. He's fresh out the patch.
Yeah, I mean, high school playing on the road is a heck of a lot different than playing in Oklahoma Sooners Memorial Stadium.
That's what.
Don't get me wrong. Hey, listen, Detroit Catholic Central. I'll give you the props. You got a hostile environment up there in Novi, but you are nothing compared to. Well, I mean, we did get someone in the chat that said that the crowd wasn't that tough in his opinion, but it's still 80,000 plus compared to maybe 10,000 maybe over at DCC in Novi.
Yeah, I hear you.
They just got to give Underwood a little more protection. That's basically what they got to work on. And I don't know what wide receiver is going to work out. And our safeties, not our safeties, but our tight ends are kind of limited, aren't they?
Yeah, we're kind of limited at tight end right now.
I mean,
okay.
I mean, have we heard any update about?
Not yet.
No. Okay. I mean, I would imagine that because Hogan Hansen was probably TE2 and he didn't get any time. I think he was on a questionable list too. But I would imagine that if Marlon's not good to go, this would be the one game that Hogan is going to come out and have himself a pretty good game out there.
Yeah.
Third key has to be the defense. Learn to tackle, guys. Come on. You had the quarterback, 3 or 4 times in that game. You couldn't bring him down. I mean, I haven't seen this defense on the front line play this poorly, if you want to put it that way, that, you know, they just can't seem to tackle this guy, and he's good. I think if he keeps playing the way he is, you know, he'll be in the Heisman running for sure.
I think so. I think so. I mean, again, Mateer last week, that was, you know, questionably a Heisman moment kind of game for him, and you know, again, a top 25 matchup, hell, a top 20 matchup for that matter, and prime time under the lights. And I mean, Jamie, I think you and I had kind of mentioned this off air before the show yesterday, actually, in the office, that, you know, sometimes you get lost in the glitz and glamour of fireworks and the light show and everything like that, because you kind of went back and talked about with one of our sales staff members about your game down in South Carolina and how just sometimes young folk can kind of get a little too in the moment and not realize, oh, I'm playing a football game.
I'm playing a game. Yeah. This is a game.
Third key has to be like you said, the defense, and I think special teams did all right, but they get Zapata back online, man. I know you missed only one field goal, and
that was that announcer's fault. Talking about it, his big mouth.
I agree with you, Jamie.
He jinxed it.
I agree.
Or in the words of John Jansen, I didn't have that on my bingo card.
Exactly. Shut up.
But wasn't it funny though that when Zapata came in to kick his second one and he made it, he still tried to jinx him?
Yes, he did. He came back out and said something.
What an idiot.
Yes, he was an idiot.
Well, I'm glad Jake Butt's on the game. I really like listening to him and stuff like that. I wonder if Devin will ever get to do a Michigan game.
I would imagine he probably will. I think a lot of it's going to be a matter of how Fox is going to schedule any of the games for Michigan. Because I mean, he's on. I want to say like on the number 2 or number 3 crew with. I for some reason can't remember. With Timmy Brando.
Brando.
Oh, Timmy Brando.
Yeah. So I'm not sure how exactly to get it scheduled up. I could probably. I think at some point I could probably text Devin and be like, "Hey man, when you coming back to town? Talk to you, boy."
I'm glad you changed the question of the day, Jamie, because yesterday you mentioned briefly that you wanted us to give the 3 keys for the Lions, and I'll give you my 3 keys. Win, win, win.
Wow, Hadley. What did you see?
No matter what.
Didn't you like? What didn't you like?
Oh, geez, Jamie, name it. No. Just name it. I mean, I thought the defense sucked.
Wow.
Defense was just terrible.
Yeah,
they were.
It wasn't that.
They gave up 35 points.
I'm just saying it wasn't as good as it should have been. I agree with you.
Well, and look at Washington yesterday. They only gave up, 24, something like that, right?
Right. Yeah. I agree. What is there?
So there you go. They definitely got to play better.
Chicken.
But and then I know what I was going to say. As far as the snacking goes on Sunday or Saturday.
Snacking? What's your breakfast or your lunch?
Well, noon games.
So you're just a snacker. That's what you're saying.
Well, I am a snacker. If I want breakfast, I'll go out and get it. I'll go to a restaurant and get a momomosa or whatever they call those things and some good things.
Did he just say momomo?
A mimosa? A mimosa. Hey, listen, I know what he was talking about. I speak Mims. I speak Mims.
We're speaking something.
Shout out to Knights and Bottomless Mims on a Sunday afternoon. I see you.
Do you like Bloody Marys, Miz?
You know what? I like the accoutrement that goes with it. But I'm not. I'll be honest. I've never really been a tomato juice kind of person. But you put enough alcohol in it, maybe I'll change my mind. Like, damn, this thing's tasting better already.
Really good.
Yeah.
Well, after you put enough alcohol in it, anything tastes good. Yeah,
you're damn right. Drink responsibly, kids.
I'm glad I gave up drinking, kids.
Drink.
Just wanted you to know that.
Uncle Miz is telling you to drink responsibly, okay? Just have a glass of water between drinks, okay?
And Miz, when you said you come in on Saturdays and stuff and you stop by the store to get whatever you want to get, I don't know if this is a new flavor yet. You know how much we're Pop-Tarts fans and everything. Is banana bread
new one?
That one was one that we did when we did like the Pop-Tart bracket last spring. I think that was new for last year, and I remember I think it was E Boogie brought a pack in for it, and that's a good flavor. I'm not gonna lie, it's a good flavor. Get yourself
real quick about
the
Raising Cane's thing you guys did yesterday. I'm really surprised, Jamie, that Michigan only has 3 locations.
Wait a minute, not yet. They still have 2 right now, Hadley. The third one opens on Tuesday. Sorry.
Best believe. Catch me out there at least at 7:30 trying to fight off all the students.
See me I'm gonna talk to the kid. I'm gonna talk to the wife, and I'm gonna say, hey, I'm gonna go get us dinner for life.
We gonna be one of the lucky 20.
Exactly. We're getting dinner for life.
And then what you do is you get their fresh made lemonade and make a Lynchburg out of it.
You know what? Goodness. I just had the lemonade, Hadley. I just missed it. Yeah. They did bring some over. At least they brought that over. But and I had some. It's very good.
Oh, it's
very good.
It is very good. It's definitely one of those. I might have to stop and get some tea and have myself some Arnie Palmer's or something.
It's really good.
Little bootleg Arnie Palmer's here in the studio.
If you like that, put a little vodka in it. I'm just telling you.
Not what I'm working on, unfortunately.
Tell Sweet when he comes in on Monday if we forget to bring it up. But California, they have, they got lots of locations. They got like 30 locations just in LA alone.
Wow.
Texas has the most right now. They have over 100 locations. Over 50 of them in the Dallas area, Dallas-Fort Worth area. And we got 3.
Well, I mean,
it's a start. It's a start, right? Yeah. When they find out what Detroit is all about, Detroit, they'll come more. There'll be more.
And there will be a 4th one. So they're rising up here in Michigan.
Yeah, I'd like to see him do it. And that what was that girl's name again?
Jessie.
Yeah. That's funny how she said she was born and raised in Ohio, and now she's coming to be a Michigan.
Well, she was in. I mean, come on. Is Cleveland part of Ohio, really?
I mean, it kind of. I mean, yeah, it's a mistake by the lake.
No, you got to ask yourself: is Toledo really part of Ohio?
Nope, we're taking that back. That's ours now. Sorry, Ohio. We're taking Toledo back.
We're gonna start another war and get them back.
No war. I just already claimed it. It's mine. I take it. It's mine. Toledo. It's mine.
I'll just say real quick. The Ohio government down here in Columbus does not help Toledo out at all. They've been wanting help for this and that and these and goes, and they tell them shove it. So maybe if they come to Michigan, maybe they can do a little better. I don't know.
We'll see. We'll definitely see.
Shove it up your butt.
Yeah, that's okay. There you go, Columbus. There you go. But we got another caller we got to hit to real quick. So you know the deal.
All right, Hadley. We'll talk to you later. 734-998-1050. What's up, Philly E?
Hey, what's up? Listen, this is pretty boring. But when Michigan plays at 12, I never eat ever. I fast through that game.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Absolutely.
You just kind of watch the commercials and just go, ooh, that's going to be good afterwards.
I try to have that celebratory meal at 3:30. You know what I mean?
I got you. I'm picking up what you're laying down.
So that's if they were playing at 3:30 or later, it'd be a different story. But when Michigan kicks off at 12, it's like Christmas morning. I could just drink a ton of coffee, do my walks, go to the gym, and get ready for the boys. So that's my meal. Absolutely nothing but maybe some black coffee. So what I want to see, not so much Keys, but I want to see a Bryce/wide receiver connection established tomorrow. Someone with 7 catches or 100 yards, or preferably both. And preferably, I would like it to be McCulley. We need to start getting that chemistry going between those two. So I would like to see that. Continued success from my man Deuce, who needs to stay on the loose. We need at least 120 plus yards out of him again. Although it would nice to see Mr. Marshall get going too. But first things first, I want to see number 22. Keep it going, and we got to see tighten coverages. I don't know what that's going to look like because I don't know how banged up we are back there at this point. So maybe that has to shift towards the front 7 getting better pressure to help those boys out on the back end. But overall, in our defense, we got to see better tackling. I didn't like what I saw last week. Now, Miz,
yes,
I am here to rescue you. You said something that struck a nerve with me.
Okay, and
No, this is good.
Many times I've been told I need saving, so go ahead and try to save me.
You said that the Tigers don't have enough, and I can't tell you how adamant I am to disagree with that point. You know, in recent years, we've seen teams that aren't loaded, aren't great, that don't have stars, that have won World Series, right?
That's true.
I could go all the way back. You know, everybody knows Billy Martin, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he was psychotic, genius manager.
Getting fired during his introductory press conference.
Oh, there's a whole listen. You could do an 8-part series on him. But people don't realize he was a star at 2 World Series. He hit 500 in the 53 World Series, and in 52 in Game 7 with the bases loaded. Friggin' Jackie Robinson pops one up, and he comes out of nowhere to catch this pop-up, which if it lands, they're screwed, blued, and tattooed. Everybody knows about the great Willie Mays catch in the 54 World Series. But the real star of that series is some no-name named Dusty Rhodes. Hit a bunch of home runs. I think the first 3 games he had big home runs. Gene Tennis of the Oakland A's. You think of Reggie Jackson, Catfish Hunter. They beat the Big Red Machine because he hit a bunch of big home runs. He was a friggin' nobody. Bucky Dent, Brian Doyle, the 78 Yankees. They win the World Series over the Dodgers, right? Huge series, both of them, right? One hit 417, the other one hit 438, right? Names that you're not going to remember. The 2011 Cardinals, who the Phillies had to go down to Atlanta and sweep them to allow the Cardinals in the playoffs, who then in turn beat the friggin' Phillies, who were absolutely loaded, and the phony 2011 Cardinals win the World Series. And the Giants have 3 World Series every other year, phonier than a $3 bill.
No, they were more legit than that Tiger team that one year when they swept us. So.
But here's the thing, Miz. You got enough. It's who gets hot. It's bullpen. It's timely hitting. It's who's going to catch the baseball. And in terms of starters, come on, man. How many starters do we see now that get yanked after 5 anymore? This isn't like Bob Gibson going 8 innings anymore. It's not even that anymore. It really boils down to bullpen, timely hitting, and, man, can you manufacture runs in the late innings? Because if you could do that, you can win some ball games. And I think the Tigers can do that, man. Baseball is such a crapshoot today. So what I want you to do, I want you to be confident. Yeah, you're in this thing. You don't need to be loaded top to bottom, because you could be Dave Winfield, who in 1981 signed a 10-year, $22 million contract, and he went 1 for 22 in the 1981 World Series, prompting George to call him Mr. May. So you don't need the stars. You don't need this freaking bomb squad of a lineup. All you got to do, timely hitting, manufacture runs, bullpen, and catch the baseball, and you're the world champs. All right? So that's me talking you off the ledge. Feel confident, young man. I shall talk to you all tomorrow, or no, I'll talk to you all on Monday.
Monday.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too worried about the Tigers. I think it's just a matter of who and not to kind of go back to like the Yankee series, because the first 2 games, let's just be honest, the Yankees just kind of blew it at the very end of their games. It's just a matter of, can we get consistency throughout? If they can be consistent, they got a good shot to make a deep run. But I'm still afraid of the Seattle Mariners. I am still worried about them.
Everybody's afraid. You should be.
Yeah.
Everybody should be. All right, it's
Thanks,
time.
JC. Yep, it's that time again. It's pick'em time. We got the tiebreaker for the first one. So, Jamie, 5 games to note, and of course the Michigan game. We'll start off with a game that's at 12 noon on ESPN. It's number 12 Clemson heading down to Hotlanta to take on the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Right now, Clemson, a 2.5-point favorite, 51.5 for those who bet. If you need more info, check out your local betting provider. Betting consultation. If you have a problem, 1-800-GAMBLE, 1-800-GAMBLE for confidential help. Jamie, who you like, the Tigers or the Yellow Jackets?
I like the Tigers. It's gonna be a tough game. I think it's gonna be a tough down there, but I like the Tigers.
Yeah, I mean they had a tough go, a tough start of the game against Troy after that loss to LSU, and I think that still continues on. I'm going to go with Georgia Tech in this one, a home game for that one. Vinny gave the tiebreaker to Clemson, so that's one there. Every game that the team is favored for Big Sweet, I'm picking it for him. So we'll go with that. Game number 2, 3:30 on ESPN. It's an SEC battle. Number 6, Georgia, a 3.5-point favorite, 15.5 over under against number 15, Tennessee down in Knoxville, 3:30 ABC. Jamie, who you like?
Who was that?
Georgia and Tennessee.
Georgia. I like Georgia.
All right. I'm going to go with Georgia in this one too. I think that they got a little more to them, and I'm not saying that that Tennessee's a fraud, but it's going to be tough go for that. The fan vote win in favor of Georgia as well. 4:30 on the CW. Jamie, this game originally seemed like it was going to be a snoozer of a game, but ladies and gentlemen, introducing the number 18 ranked South Florida Bulls traveling to Miami to take on number 5 Miami Hurricanes. Miami's a 17.5-point favorite. Jamie, can South Florida be the 5th team all time to open their season with 3 ranked victories in a row?
Miz, I want them to, but I don't see it. You woke Miami up. Their coach, Mario Cristobal, is all about getting South Florida. It's going to be close, very close. As Lee Corso would say, very close, my friend, but not so fast.
I think they become the 5th team.
Wow.
I think they do it. South Florida to pull this one off. By the way, Jamie, do you know the other 4 teams?
I know.
No?
No.
1987 Miami Hurricanes. They beat number 20 Florida, number 10 Arkansas, number 4 FSU. Jamie, when did you start your college football career?
1984.
Oh, then you were a part of another one. 1985 Michigan, when they beat number 13 Notre Dame, number 15 South Kakalaki, and number 17 Maryland.
Yeah, I remember that one. That was that South Kakalaki. We know that one.
The other 2 squads, the 1960 Iowa team that beat number 10 Oregon State, number 6 Northwestern, number 13 MSU, and the 1954 Oklahoma Sooners, who actually opened their season winning 6 in a row against ranked teams, but notably number 12 Cal, number 20 TCU, and number 17 Texas in the Red River rivalry. Jamie, this one looked like it was going to be something, but USF decided to change it up. Florida travels to Baton Rouge to play the number 3 ranked Bayou Bengals, who are a 7.5-point favorite. Who you like?
It's in Louisiana. I'm gonna take the home team.
I'm going to take the home team too. I know Florida's probably going to be a little ticked off, but I like LSU in that one. The fan vote actually went with Florida.
Yeah.
So we'll go with, so that's what they go with now. Coming up at 7:30 on NBC, it's a return matchup. Texas A&M traveling to South Bend to take on the number 8 ranked Notre Dame Fighting Irish, who are a 6.5-point favorite on NBC and Peacock. Jamie, who you like?
I haven't seen Texas A&M, and I know what Notre Dame is. Notre Dame was close in the whatchamacallit, so I'll take Notre Dame. They're home.
Apparently, Texas A&M has not won a ranked game on the road in quite some time, and I think that streak continues on.
Then I got it. See?
Notre Dame gets their first win of the season because they only played week 1 and they were off last week.
Right.
So I'll take Notre Dame in that one. The fan vote actually went Texas A&M, which now takes us to the game that matters the most. 12 noon here in Ann Arbor, 12:01 kickoff. It's Central Michigan taking on your number 23 ranked Michigan Wolverines on the Big Ten 50 WTK and on Big Ten Network. The Wolverines are a 28.5-point favorite.
Too much.
Over under of 42.5. Jamie Morris, I know who you're going with, so go ahead and just give me a score prediction.
It's the team that they're missing. The coach will be missed. They'll think about the coach, and then they'll get kicked in the rear by Biff and the offensive defensive coordinator. So I think they'll win, Miz, 34 to I'm going to go 34-10.
So a humbling score. So so Central will cover the spread at least.
And
This is a bounce back game. We talked about how much this is going to be a bounce back game for Michigan. This is a get right game for them and to keep themselves as injury free as they possibly can. And I fully think that that's what's going to happen here. I'll take Michigan to win this one in a humbling score of 32-3.
That's a good score.
Yeah, and they still technically beat the spread on that one, so that still works out for them. So make sure you tune in again tomorrow. The Big 1050s Chap on-site fueling countdown to kickoff kicks off at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Hopefully you can tune in for that. If you don't, well, that's on you. In the meantime, Jamie, you know the drill. Let's send it on over the people.
That's going to do it for the M Zone today and the rest of the week. Enjoy your weekend. Please be safe. And remember, stop for pedestrians as they cross the road.
Exactly. Be safe out there, kids.
You're listening to the M Zone on the Big 1050.